Hello everybody, and welcome to the stream. How is everybody? I saw Alex is the first come first serve to the stream chat. How are you doing? How's your day? Have you eaten your lunch already? I think it's like 3 or 4 p.m. there. in France. France, I think. Yeah, France. Or were you the one from Germany or France? You're the one from France, right, Alex? Hiya. Yeah, hiya. How are you doing? How's your afternoon? How did you spend the first half of your day? We are gonna go crazy today, everybody. We're going to watch the second half of the modded PVZ because we weren't able to watch the entire 5 hours of the modded. I didn't do that. It's just he- too hecking long. So to not beat around the bush, let's go right through it. We're gonna go full screen mode here. So let me see. Mm, browser audio properties. Hold up. Mm, there you go. Hey yo, Skuski. Welcome to the stream. We're going to finish the second half of the two of the PVZ modded, the remaining 2 hours. This is some crazy 5 hour video that you gave to me in Messenger. So yeah. Dang, you guys watched a lot already? Yeah, we did. I think it was just Jericho and I left in the stream. Jericho was the one who was chatting in the chat. Everybody I think lurked in my stream that time, and I think everybody like fell asleep. So we're going to watch the remaining 2 hours, and that will be super crazy. Yeah, let's go. I'm gonna go full screen mode, so it'll be easy for you guys to watch. Okay, let's go.
To later if needed. Now, we're on stage 2, where we aim to kill every sunflower zombie as quickly as possible with our cop cannons to minimize the number of gravestone spawns.
This is already
But
funny
notice
as
here
hell.
that if I just kill all the sunflower zombies as soon as we have another cop cannon shot at the ready, this actually still leaves a substantial amount of gravestones on the board since we're waiting for our cop cannons to reload before killing the sunflower zombies. This is a huge problem since with Grave Ambush zombies, we will need to spend 4 cop cannon shots immediately to deal with them on the first flag. This absolutely hinders our ability to defend the later waves, as we would have no cop shots remaining to deal with the rest of the zombies. So actually, we have to further optimize this and reduce the amount of gravestone spawns even more. How? Well, look at what we originally did to eliminate the first sunflower zombie of the level. We kill it with a cherry bomb, but then the next wave comes immediately, and
What? What did he say?
zombie of the level. We kill it with a cherry bomb, but then the next wave comes
Next wave immediately spawned due to 50% rule. 50% rule, once more than half of a wave of zombies is destroyed, the next wave is sent immediately. Oh my
immediately,
gosh.
and that's because we killed more than half of the zombies in the wave. The
I watched the last Jurassic World movie yesterday. Oh, good for you, Alex. How was it? This is the newest one, right? You watched the newest one. That's cool.
optimal way to do it is to
I
make
watched
sure
it as
that our
well.
cop cannon shot only hits the sunflower zombie. This ensures that we keep more than half of the zombies in the wave alive, so that the next wave isn't sent immediately, which gives us about 10 extra seconds of buffer time. But this has to be repeated for literally every single wave for maximum optimization. Our shots have to be so precise, it only clips the sunflower zombie and hits nothing else in the wave to make sure that the
The timing! The timing, what the hell?
50% rule is not met. I'm not kidding when I tell you that I spent a whole hour on just repeatedly getting pixel perfect shots of our cop cannons on these sunflower zombies. And I eventually managed to do a decent enough job to end up with only gravestones on the 9th column by the first flag. Now stage 2 is optimized, we move on to stage 3 of optimization, which is everything after the first flag. Because of what we did in stage 2, we did all of that work to save using 2 cop shots on grave ambushes. those saved cop shots actually give us
It's
enough
not
leeway to
dead
start
yet!
planting more than 8 cop cannons, which is
They're not
necessary to beat
dead
this
yet.
level.
Okay, there you
Also,
go.
you actually have to be a genius to beat this level legitimately because to kill dancing
Michael
zombies before they
Jackson
reach your cop
zombie.
cannons, you have to shoot your shots before they even appear on the screen. Obviously, this is only possible because I save scummed every single wave, and I just cut out all the failed attempts for you guys. Then comes the blood moon part of the level. Again, we have to shoot our cop shots before we even see the zombies, and we also have to make sure none of the dancing zombies survive or else we straight up lose, which is mitigated by the fact we have save scumming on our side, so I can just replay the level with a previous save state if the dancing zombie revives itself. And finally, we have to also exploit a glitch with the cop cannon, which allows it to hit 3 lanes instead of 2 lanes whenever we shoot the cop shot when zombies from the wave are spawning. Yeah, don't ask me how that glitch works. I have no idea too.
Oh,
and
nice
all
one.
of that, what is happening on the screen for you guys,
Oh.
seems like it only took 30 seconds to do, but in actuality took 30 minutes of painstakingly re-rolling for the perfect RNG to end up with what is a perfect run. And after spending like 2 hours of playing in one singular game of Plants vs. Zombies, we finally reached the final wave of this level without crashing because we somehow managed to make sure there weren't too many graves on the screen. So I just launched all our cop cannon shots to finally win a bag of money.
Nice.
Did I just waste 10 hours of my life beating this level with like 5 different game exploits and 10 different loopholes? I honestly can't answer that question.
Because you can.
Well, thank God the next level doesn't include the sunflower zombies again, but there are newspapers, so take that as you should. So you might be wondering how can this loadout somehow beat Hypno Coneheads, but the trick is, we don't. They only show up in World 6 and 7, so we won't be worrying about
Conehead zombie only World 6, 7 variant, 25% chance of becoming Hypno variant, kills all plants in front of it. Translated from Chinese. Okay.
them anymore. But there's also some bad news. All previously ground exclusive zombies can now spawn in the water.
10 hours for a level?
Zombies. So
That's
we'll have
crazy.
to defend the water as much as we do on the ground as well.
Look how fast
Cannibal
it's eating
zombies
it.
from this world and onwards now also shoot much faster, as if they're on steroids. It looks really goofy, but it's actually completely harmless as long as we have some umbrella leaves. I wouldn't let my guard down just yet since we haven't seen the blood moon abilities of newspapers and catapults, but turns out they don't have one. So what originally looked really difficult is actually just a nothing burger. The final wave was pretty uneventful as well, and so I managed to beat the level.
Oh god, it's empty.
But I don't know whether I would say the same about the next level, which brings back both Jack-in-the-Box and Ladder Zombies.
Oh god, Gargantar.
Last time these two came together, it required a 1 in 30 million chance.
What? Oh no, oh god.
Against Jack-in-the-Box and Ladder Zombies, I went with the obvious Gloomshroom Magnishroom combo. Magnishroom removes all the metallic objects, and Gloomshroom's high group damage vaporizes the rest of the zombies pretty easily. But balloon zombies are a different story, since we have to kill them using Blover. And if there's even just one wave that spawns too many of them, the next wave can be sent immediately since one Blover use could kill half the zombies on its own,
oh no!
which can be completely devastating as you can see here. Without 2 columns
Bad
of Magnishrooms, we won't be able to reliably counter Jack-in-the-Box zombies, which is especially impactful since they now summon jalapeno zombies in 3 lanes upon self-detonation during the blood moon. Remember guys, this is fair and balanced.
Oh no, it's
and
empty!
If that sounds bad enough of a change, I'm here to tell you, it gets worse. Gargantuars during the blood moon now throw random zombies instead of imps.
Oh no!
Zombie in the
Did that sunflower zombie just drifted its walk? Excuse me.
That sounds bad enough of a change. I'm here to tell you, it gets worse. Gargantuars during the blood moon now throw random zombies instead of imps. Any zombie in the game. And I'm sitting here, wondering how you're supposed to stop a full health football zombie thrown into the last column of your defense with no instant kills in your loadout.
Oh no,
I guess you don't. So the first order of business here is shifting our defense 2 columns backwards, allowing us to stall out the waves and get more blowers to defend against balloon zombies. This actually worked, and we managed to keep our defense intact until Gargantuars came. Now, I originally thought Gloomshrooms could kill Gargantuars if we just spam flower pots to halt them in place in front of our Gloomshrooms, since that had worked previously, but during the blood moon, Gargantuars have a faster swing speed, making it much harder to stall out. They can easily smash their way through our defense, destroying our Magnishrooms, causing us to lose against the Jack-in-the-Box zombies again. Well, I didn't directly lose by dying there, but it was impossible to win since I had no stun to defend the final wave as a result of those Jack-in-the-Box explosions. Now, it could be really easy to just say, run Doomshroom, which would have one-shot the final wave by itself in the last game. However, since Doomshroom is unusable during the Blood Moon, bringing it instead of Cherry Bomb seems to be not that good of an idea, especially if the latter would have actually saved us here. So I switched back to Cherry Bomb afterwards to see if I could have played better and lost fewer plants to beat the level. All was going well until RNG just punished us by teleporting this Ender Conet directly into our house,
Oh
because I
no.
spent a blowover. Welcome to Plants vs Zombies Dumb Luck Edition. And certainly, I'll admit luck can be a major deciding factor in whether we win or lose games.
Wait, excuse me?
I'll
Jalapeno
admit
zombies
luck can
with
be a
bucket
major
head?
deciding factor
What the hell? That's so broken.
in whether we win or lose games. This was evident as in my next run, I was almost certainly cooked against this train of Gargantuars at the bottom lane. But thanks to RNGesus once again, an Ender Conet teleported past everything straight into the roof cleaner, which activated it early and saved the entire bottom lane. Coincidentally, the Blood Moon ended at the same time, slowing down everything back to normal speed. Somehow, the two Gargantuars in the next wave also ended up in the non-Gloomshroom lanes. That's some super lucky stuff there. This basically allowed us to make it to the final wave unscathed. And somehow, I lucked out again because there were only 3 Gargantuars in the final wave and 2 of them were in the lane with a roof cleaner, so I just spent 2 cherry bombs on a Gargantuar in lane 2 to kill it, and I beat the level. Strategic icon right here, displaying the most skill-based gameplay ever. Now, if you thought the Gargantuars were bad enough last level, yeah, I think you can see where this could be going. The first thing I immediately thought of when seeing Zombonis and Giga Gargantuars are Cop Cannons, as their insanely high healths mean that we can only counter them using sheer destructive force.
Oh,
However,
never mind.
The strategy of imitated Cop Cannon from level 8-2 has absolutely no way of defending itself from the Gatling P zombies. With no wall plants in our loadout, Flower Pots can only provide limited protection before the Cop Cannons get systematically eliminated. Just too many zombies and with no defense left, this level is definitely going to be a tougher one to crack, it seems. The first change we make in our second run is to include Walnut, as we definitely need some protection so Gatling P zombies can't just wreck us. It did a pretty decent job at doing just that early on. But in practice, Walnut was not that good since it reduced our total number of Cop Cannons as we had to make space to plant a line of defensive plants. Without enough explosive power, we could not kill off all the zombies, so we just didn't have enough defense and ended up losing again. Now, my first thought after failing to protect our Cop Cannons was to ditch Cop Cannon. I mean, Gatling P zombies can inflict damage to us if we just don't have anything for them to hit.
How is he still alive, bro?
Idea, by the way. I don't even know why I considered this.
Broken logic.
I would have to say, it did create a really funny moment. Okay, here.
Bye, have a great time.
Are you kidding me, bro? Okay, here.
What the hell?
Bye, have a great time.
Are you kidding me, man? Bro! Watch this switch lanes again, and then I'll be hilarious. You have got to be kidding me! What? Come on, man.
Broken logic.
Nah.
That's so unfair.
Nah, it's gonna switch lanes again or something. No. Are you kidding me right now?
Broken logic
right now. Bro, you have got to be trolling me.
Bye, have a good time.
Are you? Come on, man. Well, I would say that this is a pretty unwinnable situation for us. Would you agree with me? Now, that's a pretty good sign I should reconsider my options again, so I went with Chompers as my main DPS in my next run to see what they could do here. But I failed to consider that bringing in Chompers would then also require me to bring both Walnut and Magnet to counter Gatling P zombies and Tigger zombies respectively. We then also have to factor in the fact that gravestones are blocking quite a lot of planting space, meaning there's practically no space left for sunflowers. In fact, we soon ran out of sun to plant more walnuts, so this definitely can't be the way to go. Though seeing as strategies involving Chompers or conventional instant kill spam both failed, the only reasonable strategy we should try are variations of Cop Cannon strategies. However, as soon as Digger zombies start showing up, we just don't have enough explosives to kill them off because everything recharges so slowly.
Chat, wait. I'm just gonna check something in my OBS. Okay. We good.
Allowed the Tiggers to spawn buckets on top of our Cop Cannons and destroy them, so this was definitely not an improvement. But what are we really missing out on these runs? It's just a reliable counter against Digger zombies. The best solution to that problem is Potato Mine, which can eliminate them before bucketheads are even spawned. This is a massive deal since Potato Mines allow us to kill Digger zombies without causing any collateral damage on other zombies in the wave. This means we can defend our Cop Cannons while stalling out every single wave, giving us extra time for Cop Cannons to regenerate more shots. Those extra seconds we get every wave are what really counts. Squeezing
Oh
out that
no!
one extra cop
What
cannon
the
shot is
hell?
what makes the difference to keep our defense intact for one more wave.
He
But
didn't
this
even
only
die!
lets it make it one or
Oh
two
no!
waves further.
Oh no!
In the face
Oh
of
no,
the
he's not
incoming
dead!
army of Gatling P zombies, it seems like
Oh
they
no!
will overwhelm our defense. And if our cop cannons are going down, it looks like we will have no chance of beating the level. Right now, we're on track to lose because the final wave of Giga Gargantuars is unstoppable since we won't have nearly enough explosive damage to defend them. But remember the most valuable asset of all, the roof cleaners. Since we managed to stall the 2 extra waves of potato mines before
Huh?
our defense got
Why is bro facing the other way around and not the opposite side? What? What is this?
vaporized, now in the next 2 waves, there won't be any zombies spawning in those lanes. And since this is
What is bro even yapping about at this point?
the wave
Yeah.
before the final wave, it means that the final wave now won't spawn anything in those lanes with our roof cleaners. This is how in short levels, we can simply exploit lawnmower game mechanics to cheese out waves that would otherwise be incredibly difficult. And I imagine you can see how we just win now. So I'll just speed up the gameplay now and let's move on to level 8-6. Level 8-6. It's now time for,
Oh no.
jalapeno zombies. Every time they show up, our entire defense gets completely obliterated because of how volatile they are, since they explode 5 times quicker in this mod. But this level is the first time we have winter melons unlocked against jalapeno zombies, so I'm hoping they will help us out because nothing else other than instant kill spam has been viable against them. And winter melons certainly did not disappoint us in the early game. They did very well against football zombies with their freezing effects, and we didn't even need any wall plants. But does the winter melon freezing effect stop the jalapeno zombies from exploding? No, they don't. The jalapeno zombie literally exploded before it even went into the water. That's how ineffective winter melons are against them. And I guess you could expect what was left of our defense by the end of this level. Literally nothing. Well, I was the first one to call that out from a—
Are you kidding me? They had to land this one right there. They have nothing to steal. Chat, what the hell is this? What is this logic? The bungee zombie just dropped there, stealing nothing. What are they gonna steal? Air?
a mile away.
It's crazy,
But
chat.
if you just need to doubt me even more on how ridiculous the jalapeno zombies are, even chompers are ineffective at stopping them. Their high health and extremely short fuse are simply impossible to deal with using any attacking plan. So I've decided to try out a new strategy in my next run, in hopes of finally finding a solution to jalapeno zombies once and for all. This is a wacky strategy using Gold Magnet and Imitator Gold Magnet, which is a pretty neat idea in theory, since hypnotized zombies are unaffected by jalapeno zombie explosions. I also found out that they hard counter all-star zombies because it negates their charge ability, so that is an even more of a reason to use Gold Magnet. And if there's a giant football zombie, Cattail's high single target damage can single them out no matter where they are, making this a pretty potent strategy. However, there was a major flaw. We didn't have a counter against pole vaulting zombies, since they don't get blocked by hypnotized zombies, which is a major issue. Soon, I find myself with no umbrella leaves protecting our cattails, and our defense is thoroughly demolished within just a few waves yet again. This time, there weren't even jalapeno zombies that showed up, so it just goes to show that this strategy is also not viable for this level. So once again, we had to return to our old trusted friend Cloud Cannon, which can clear out the early game very easily, just like
Broken logic. Look at the cub cannon. It just went to the cards, not to the zombies. So broken, bro.
our old trusted friend Cloud Cannon,
Ew,
which can clear out the early
boobs.
game very easily, just like the
Broken.
previous levels where
Instant replay. Let's do it again. Look at this cub cannon. Spits.
friend Cloud Cannon, which can clear out the early
boobs.
game very easily, just
It just landed on the cards. Broken.
like the previous levels where we have used it. However, giant football zombies pose serious problems for cop cannons since they take 3 explosions to be killed, which is a significant amount of cop
How is bro running on the water?
for cop
How's
cannons
bro running in
since
the
they
water?
take
That's so
3
crazy.
explosions to be killed, which is a significant amount of cop shots we will have to spend dealing with just one zombie.
The football zombie is not even swimming in the water. It's just running in the
With
water.
only about 8
What is
cop
this
cannons,
logic,
we
chat?
could not replenish our supply of explosives quickly enough to also deal with the jalapeno zombies, so we just lost our entire defense even faster than all the other strategies we've tried
Oh,
so
shit.
far. So there is no way cop cannons will be the answer here, right? Well, let's not jump to
Wrong.
conclusions since there are plenty of ways to supplement cop cannons. Magnetrum is one of them since we can remove football helmets to make football zombies die in one hit instead. But Magnetrum did not provide enough value to be worthwhile. Giant football zombies without a helmet still require 2 more cop shots to be killed, and with only 8 cop cannons, we're still a bit off from having enough cop
What
shots
the
to
hell?
fend off both the football and jalapeno zombies. Another approach we can take is to make our cop shots more efficient. We can do that by bringing in Tall Nut to block off the all-star zombies, grouping them up with the slower zombies in the wave, so we can hit more zombies with the same cop shot. Though Tall Nut survives an all-star charge, it comes with its own problems, the biggest one being that it moves towards the right after being planted. So against giant football zombies, it doesn't stall for long enough and we still end up losing our cop cannons. But one plant outclasses both Magnashroom and Tall Nut, which is Pumpkin, since it stalls the football zombies and also transforms into a squash upon death. However, one often overlooked part of Squash and Pumpkin is that they have a 25% chance of freezing all zombies upon squashing, which is an unreliable but powerful effect. While that may be unreliable, the freezing effect is very important to us here because we need that extra time to reload our cop shots and also have some additional instant kills that can deal some damage. And even if we don't get a freeze, just the squash attack itself
So
is very
dumb! He's just there again! He's stealing an air! That stupid bungee zombie's broken logic.
useful to pick off the lone football zombies. But with a slow cooldown, it recharges too infrequently to reliably deal with the football zombies on its own, and it takes time to activate. So in a situation like this, it cannot be a substitute for squash. Though I will say, I was pleasantly surprised that this strategy actually worked out much better than I expected. The freeze is unreliable, but very good since it buys out time for us before jalapeno zombies explode, unlike the Wintermelon's brief freeze. However, this will only work if we can somehow defend our cop cannons from this onslaught, and I don't really see a way of doing
Oh
this.
shit!
Or
Dead.
can we? Instead of going for Imitator Cop Cannon, we can actually go for Imitator Squash instead, which sounds dumb, because why wouldn't you want 8 Cop Cannons by the first flag? Well, turns out, we don't need that many Cop Cannons since Cherry Bomb is goated. We can then further optimize the amount of cop shots we need to spend by simply getting lucky with our Squash and freezing the zombies. But this run really didn't fully showcase the power of the Squash because we were extremely unlucky with them.
Oh no.
You'd expect at least one of the Squashes here to freeze this next wave, but we went 0 for
Huh?
4 with them. You'd
Did
expect
you see that, chat? Did you fucking see that? The pumpkin just jumped.
to fully
What
showcase
the
the power
hell?
of the Squash because we were extremely unlucky with them. You'd expect at least one of the Squashes here to freeze this next wave,
What
but
the
we went
hell?
0 for 4. Then, Bungie Zombies came and destroyed 2 more of our quote-unquote squashes, and the next squash we placed also didn't freeze. That's just plain unlucky that we got no freezes from 7 squashes in a row. In fact, we will not get another freeze for 2 more waves, but I think you can see that we have a bigger problem by then. So, how do we beat this level? Well, a famous person once said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. So I guess I'm an insane person then, but for a good reason. You see, since Squash's abilities to freeze is luck-based, if we just played this level enough times, there will eventually be a run where we get enough lucky freezes to beat the level. If that sounds completely stupid, that's because it is. If the pumpkin I just showed you froze the zombies, this pole vaulter would have been caught in the explosion of the cop shot. But now, we lose the cop cannon. In fact, we actually lost because there was a second pole vaulter in the same wave who leapt past our roof cleaner and straight into our chimney.
Bro.
Well, isn't that a great way to end it? Even after multiple attempts to try and improve on our cop cannon usage, I still seem to struggle against the pole vaulters no matter what I did. But time is on our side, and we can play the level again. After an hour long of grueling attempts, I finally had a glimmer of hope when I made it to the Blood Moon with 4 of our cop cannons still alive. But there are so many football zombies across the whole board, how was I going to counter the rest of the zombies after killing the biggest threats with no more shots at the ready? This is where we needed RNGesus to save us, and thankfully, this Imitator Squash gave us a freeze, giving us just that little bit of extra time we needed to stall, and I lost that roof cleaner in the bottom lane intentionally, which is all part of my master plan. Since that roof cleaner just activated, now every zombie is clumped into 4 lanes, meaning 1 cop shot is all we need to meet the 50% roof threshold and send in the next wave. So I could do this again with another cop shot, and now you can see where this is going. I'm just rushing every single wave as quickly as possible in a sprint to try and get as much roof cleaner value as possible, while using Squash and Tangle Kelps to clean up as many of the stray zombies as I can. And now, when we do get overwhelmed, we can have roof cleaners to wipe out multiple waves of zombies at once. And by simply protecting the top lane's pool cleaner, we can use it to clear out the rest of the zombies in the final wave. With the blood moon being over, we can easily stall everything out, and now just squashes or pumpkins are enough to clean up the stragglers. On the final wave, just 2 cop cannon shots are required and we clear out everything on the ground, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is how we beat level 8-6.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh no! Oh no, bro! What the hell?
Oh man, what the
We have finally made it far enough where we now need 5,000 additional starting sun for whatever this zombie is.
Bro.
Prepare your eyeballs for the upcoming stupidity that is about to ensue. With this much sun, we can choose any strategy in the game, so I just went with the most expensive plan, which seems like a reasonable choice considering this is the first free flag level in World 8. But we get this much sun for a reason. That's because the Twin Sunflower Zombie is the strongest non-boss enemy yet. It also spawns free graves every 4 seconds just like the Sunflower Zombie, but it has double the health.
Hold up, chat. Hold up. I'm gonna go on a beard back. So wait out there. Sorry, chat. Something just happened. I don't want to talk about it. Let's resume watching this. I don't want to stress over what happened.
So it takes
About
twice
this.
as long to kill. Welcome to Fair and Balanced. Though winter melons are handling the ground lanes for now, I forgot to account for dolphin riders. Since they are invincible while traveling on their dolphins, it's straight up impossible to kill them with winter melons. Just one golden dolphin rider is all it takes to demolish their defense in the water, and the rest is history. One solution is to bring in Tangle Kelps, since their super fast cooldown means that we can easily defend off the dolphin riders every wave. But that doesn't actually prevent our winter melons from dying. I forgot about the Blood Moon burn, which will end up killing
Bro.
all the winter melons in the water after a while. And now we don't even have the funds to repair our defense because we spent
Oh, no.
several thousand sun on Tangle Kelps.
275 sons.
Oh, too bad, I guess. I mean, if I can't make winter melons work here, then we move on to the next most expensive plan. What about Cop Cannon instead? The major advantage Cop Cannons have is that they can take out the Dolphin Riders in the water easily. But now we have problems with Twin Sunflower Zombies, since they don't die in one explosion. So they stay on the board long enough to block us from planting more Cop Cannons, which makes it even harder for us to kill them. Don't forget that with Cop Cannons, you have to perfectly time your shots to land on the Dolphin Riders, or else they become invincible and they will do a double leap during the Blood Moon to take out all our defenses.
Oh no! Oh no!
I understand. Simply not skilled enough at Plant vs. Zombies. And there we go. The first crash thanks to the graves on the board. Since the Winter Melons didn't prevent us from crashing, I'm just gonna cut it so I can bring Imitator Cop Cannons instead to maximize our damage.
What did it say? What did it
Didn't
say?
prevent us from crashing, I'm just gonna cut it so I can bring Imitator
I meant to say can plant more cup
Cop
cannons.
Cannons
Oh, okay.
instead to maximize our damage output. I managed to get up 11 Cop Cannons by the first flag with all this extra starting sun, so hopefully that will be enough. But it seems like this level will take a lot more than just a different loadout to beat. Even with more Cop Cannons, Twin Sunflower Zombies still stayed on the board for long enough, so much so that the natural grave spawns started forcibly removing
Oh,
our
no.
Cop Cannons. Then, add that with the Blood Moon making everything move twice as fast, and Pole Vaulters leaping into our defenses to destroy all of our remaining Cop Cannons, we've got ourselves a disastrous run once again. Seeing that we had a ton of leftover sun at the end of the last run, I switched out Marigold for Jalapeno. But Jalapeno might be useless because I can't even find a space to plant it when the whole board is just gravestones, so I had to think of a Cop Cannon to place one down.
Boom!
Which I'm not sure if that's a good play or not. And while Jalapeno is sometimes good to clear out the water lane in one go, it isn't going to pay too many dividends here since we still don't have enough damage against Twin Sunflower Zombies. We need some way to keep more cop cannons on the board so we can use more than just 2 cop shots a wave. So maybe Squash will do something, because it can freeze all the zombies if we're lucky. Well, that's if we can use the Squash. Right, I forgot about the problem the zombie we're trying to counter presents. And if not being able to use the Squash doesn't kill us, then the game will do it for us by crashing. How the hell are we supposed to kill these zombies faster? Well, I can't exactly call a level impossible if I haven't exhausted all possible options, which includes absurd choices such as using Gatling Peas on a roof level. Well, it does as well as you'd expect the Gatling Pea strategy to do on a roof level. I literally couldn't even defend the first wave of Dolphin Riders, so there's no way we're getting much further than that. They don't even do enough damage to kill off the Twin Sunflower Zombies before they outright destroy our defense by replacing it with gravestones. We probably won't need to test any of the other straight shooting plans this level, but, I mean, what can we really do to beat this absolute madness? Alas, we have to resort to our only way to beat this level. We're pulling out the Extreme Safe Scum method once again. Pause if you need to recap on what Safe Scum is, but Extreme Safe Scum takes this process to another level by applying it to every
What do you
wave of
mean?
the level
They're the
instead of
same.
just making occasional checkpoints. We'll
They're the
have
same
to make a
zombies.
save state for every wave in the early game so we can min-max every wave, and trust me, this is the necessary to beat this level. Doing all this dirty work allows us to squeeze out a whole extra cop cannon before the Twin Sunflower Zombies come, which believe you me, that's a big deal. And now for the most annoying part of trying to beat this level, perfecting the mid-game. Did the Snorkel Zombie teleport and kill the Twin Sunflower? Reset. Did we hit the Dolphin Rider 0.1 seconds too late? Reset. Did the cop cannon shot get
There's a lot
missed
of
and didn't
reset.
hit the bottom lane? Reset. Did the pole vaulter jump too quickly before a cop shot landed? Reset. It's basically impossible to blackboard the level considering how precise every wave has to be beaten. But it can be done with enough luck, a lot of skill, and also planning in advance. Now the first order of business is to continue planting cop cannons while we're killing off these Twin Sunflower Zombies every wave. Because to beat every single wave this level, you actually need more than 15 cop cannons. Now, that might not make any sense, because there's no way we can fit in more cop cannons without getting instantly destroyed by the gravestones, but no one said we couldn't dig up our existing cop cannons and replace them with a new one to get another cop shot sooner, which is exactly what we have to do here so we can get enough cop shots in preparation for the second flag. Also, if you are wondering, the cop cannons in the water didn't die with the blood moon burn because we were anti-stalling the waves, which means the waves go by quicker, meaning fewer burns happen. And when the second flag comes, you can see how I precisely use my grave busters such that all the gravestone spawns actually get countered by our instant kills instantaneously, minimizing the chance of us crashing. Meanwhile, I have to replace the cop cannons in the water lane because they're about to die after the first blood moon. And on top of keeping track of that, I have to remember to start digging up our flower pots to make space for new gravestones to spawn so that new ones don't spawn on top of our cop cannons and kill them. Meanwhile, we're micromanaging all our cop cannon shots to completely obliterate every wave, and I guess you can see why I said I needed more than 15 cop cannons this level, because at this point, we're using every cop cannon shot off cooldown to keep up with every wave and hold off the zombies. Somehow, with all this precise calculation and when all the stars align, we can actually beat this absolutely horrific level without crashing. I think it goes to show that if you've got enough dedication, put enough thought into the
Bro's final boss when it comes to PVZ gameplay vids.
problem,
Yeah.
execute your plan perfectly, and make sure to account for everything that could be an obstacle or problem, you'll be able to succeed eventually. This was so close, we only had 100 cents to spare to beat this level. Surely there's no way there's a level even more difficult than this after what we've just witnessed.
Nice.
Right?
Wrong!
Thankfully, the next level won't be nearly as stupid because there are no sunflower zombies here. This still looks pretty bad though if I'm gonna be honest. Conad pea shooter zombies in particular will be insanely annoying because all our flower pots will be under fire immediately on the first wave. Nothing we can do here other than just tank the hits while we're building up our walnuts, so that'll slow down our early game. So instead of the usual 3 columns of chompers by the first flag, we only have 2.5 columns, which causes us some problems against flag zombies, as we can't kill it quick enough before it craps over all our plans of gravestones. And about Gravebuster, yeah, I had to exclude it in this level because we needed a counter against diggers, catapults, and also balloon zombies.
Hi Jericho, welcome to the stream. How are you? We played Vala a while ago. You know what happened in the Nuts gameplay? What do you mean? What do you mean Nuts gameplay? This is the modded one. This is where we left off. You didn't miss that much. you didn't miss that much. You were just like in few minutes. GG's in Valo. Nuts. The game, the nuts. Uh, bro's yapping a lot, but you missed me like a little bit when you when we watched this one, diba? Last time we watched this one, and then just few minutes ago, you missed where the zombies had like a twin sunflower head.
Not having Gravebuster would bite us in the back later when we didn't have enough magnet shrooms to counter the Digger zombies because we didn't have enough space. And you know when these guys get to the back of your defense, you can kiss it goodbye because of the buckets they spawn in the middle of it. Or, as the kids nowadays would say, in the thick of it.
Huh? Excuse me? Look at this bro. He's facing this way and not the opposite direction. Exactly. He's mining on the roof. How is it possible? It spawned so much zombies that it would crush it. Yo. Into the thick of it.
But seriously, we need Gravebuster to make space for more magnet shrooms. Or we could just ditch
You're literally breaking the roof. Chat, he's breaking the roof. They're breaking the roof. They're mining on the roof, bro.
magnet shroom and one potato mine to hard counter Digger zombies. I mean, surely the smartest Plants vs. Zombies player cannot make any
Look!
oversights,
Ano-
right?
Wrong.
Well, we don't have anything for this in the water, though. Oh my.
Look, bro. Not only bros is mining in the roof. He's walking in the water with his pickaxe. Kira crashed out 17 times last stream. Yeah. Yeah, crash counter 17 times. Exactly.
Wait, are we just toasted here again? Well, to answer that question for you, past RCCH, yes, we are. I just forgot that the Digger zombies now also spawn in the water lane, which I'm not even sure how that's supposed to work, but they do. I hate to do it, but we have no choice but to go back to Cop Cannon, because otherwise, we cannot deal with everything in this level.
Exactly. Imagine he's mining in the roof and then this
Which
happened.
I'm not even sure we are. I just forgot that the Digger zombies now also spawn in the water lane, which I'm not even sure how.
See? He's mining in the roof and then this happens. Dumb. What the hell? Anong ginagawa mo? Naglalakad sa pool. Exactly. This mod will fry your brain.
How that's
Oh, for
supposed to work,
real.
but they do. I hate to do it, but we have no choice but to go back to Cop Cannon, because otherwise, we cannot deal with everything in this level at the same time. I mean, nothing beats a plant that can literally kill any zombie anywhere on the board. It's just more versatile, more flexible. Okay, maybe we can't kill all the zombies in this level with just Cop Cannons because of how fast the balloon zombies move, but we still have Clover, so I think we're still fine.
Bruh!
Well, if there's one lesson to learn from that, that's to reserve a spot in your defense to plant Blover because your instant use plants can get crushed in this mod. Now back to talking about Cop Cannons, we can't obliterate every wave as soon as they spawn because we only have 10 cops this time around since we have to make more space for walnuts. We have to be much more careful about how we use our Cop Cannons, or else we'll get caught with our pants down against a catapult zombie and get demolished. And we can't recover after losing our Cop Cannons since we can't afford to rebuild them. So unlike the previous level where we wanted to destroy everything as quickly as possible, this time we need to stall as much as possible after eliminating all the Digger zombies and catapult zombies in each wave so that all our Cop Cannons have time to reload. And in the process of targeting the Diggers and catapults every wave, we'll just end up killing the zombies from the previous wave with Cop Cannon Splash. We can pretty easily defend off everything as long as we don't waste our cop shots on the brown coat zombies, which are basically harmless to us as long as we just have some walnuts to tank the Zombotany Ps. Well, this is definitely a much simpler way to beat this level compared to using Chomper and running 3 different silver bullets. And with Cop Cannons, the final wave is the easiest wave of the level since we can instantly take out everything. I mean, the only thing I can really say is that the difficulty difference in these levels is quite drastic. It's time for the penultimate level of World 8, and oh dear lord, Michael Jackson is back again to haunt us. To make matters worse, this level has 2.5 flags instead of the
Michael Jackson
2.
zombie.
As for what plants I chose for this level, I didn't want to spend 2 hours safe scumming with Cop Cannon against dancing zombies again, and since both choppers and wintermelons can't hit pogo zombies, we're left with only one option, which is Gloom Shroom. Countering dancing zombies with Gloom Shrooms is pretty simple. Just place them in a checkerboard pattern so that the backup dancers spawn on empty tiles, and then our Gloom Shrooms to go to town and shred the backup dancers to pieces. Now you might be wondering why I placed a few Fume Shrooms, but they're necessary to prevent pogos from trampling our glooms. We'll be using Blover off cooldown to slow down the pogos so that our Fume Shrooms have enough time to take them out. We won't need fumes on every lane since pogos on the odd number lanes get taken out by the Gloom Shrooms next door. And even if Snorkel Zombie can one-shot any plant, just placing a lily pad on top of them gives Gloom Shrooms enough time to kill them, so we can counter Snorkel Zombies too. Well, this level has been suspiciously easy so far, but we all know that TD mod designs every level to near impossible difficulty, so you know it's never that simple. Defending pogo zombies that are moving at regular speed? Yeah, that's pretty simple, just slow them down with Blover. But during the Blood Moon, all zombies move faster, so well, there goes that Gloom Shroom, I guess. Ghost Piglets also move faster, so now we don't have enough damage to kill it with Gloom Shrooms. Welp, and looks like we're dead. That's one way to lose the game. We have to get extra damage from somewhere for the Blood Moon, so I'll just swap out Lollipad for Imitated Blover, which steals that extra bit of damage we need every wave. Wait, but why a Lollipad instead of, say, Squash from our loadout? Well, Lillipads are probably pointless since just Blovers do enough damage to kill off the Snorkel zombies.
Yeah.
Now I guess one important thing is to address how we deal with Gargantors with this setup.
Exactly, activated the
good
ghost
question.
mode.
The answer is we don't. We just let the Gargantor throw its imp and use the roof cleaner. I mean, that is about as reliable as it gets. Well, that was the only Gargantor that spawned before the second flag, so clearly just better at Plants vs Zombies. But I forgot one crucial part of this level. You know, I think live RCCH might be better for this part of the video. Oh no, I didn't kill the flag zombie. I'm so
Oh no, what? What
live
the fuck happened?
RCCH might be better for this part of the video. Oh no, I didn't kill the flag zombie. I'm so dumb. Oh, we might have just lost the game. I'm so stupid. Yeah, I definitely messed up. Hold on. Wait a second. Can we still win? Final wave. Fine here.
Oh no!
What? Bro! Nah, man! Nah!
Nah,
The
nah,
unicorn
nah,
that's
nah.
one of the first column that killed us. Nah! Bro! Now what if I told you we still wouldn't beat this level on our next attempt? No way, right? Another skill issue? Nah, just watch this absolute clown show. Yup, slow down. Okay, now we do this. Wait, what? How did that kill a fake? What? What are you talking about? How is that even possible? Off garbage. Well, shout out to Spaghetti Code for that loss. So I had to play the level from the beginning again, and finally made it back to the second flag. This time with all our Gloom Shrooms still alive. This time, I remember to kill the flag zombie before it converted the entire lane into gravestones, and I'm telling you, I ain't got the patience to play this level again, so I'm being extra safe. And once we make it to the final wave, there's nothing else to do other than place a few more Blovers and wait for our Gloom Shrooms to clean up the rest of the mess. With that, we're one step closer to completing World 8. We got a letter, by the way. Let's see what's up with the zombies this time. Alright, and seems like it's just a standard letter. Not much information I can get from here. Let's see what the zombies are coming at us with.
Oh no.
Oh my god! Well, at least it's not another boss fight because I'm pretty sure you guys are also sick of them. We're going old school back to the conveyor belt level. The plans for this conveyor belt level are, well, I ain't reading out the list. You can see for yourself. This level presents several challenges for us to overcome. One of them is that Chomper is our only attacking plant, but they're also the least common plant from the conveyor belt, so it makes our early game really awkward since we don't want to be spending instant kills as we need to stall the waves for a better chance to get more Chompers. It also kind of screwed over my giant walnut placements since I didn't expect the game to give us close to no Chompers to work with, but we have to make do with what we have. After all, it's a conveyor belt level. Without even 2 columns of Chompers by the first flag, we're basically just relying on Doomshroom to defend off everything. And if we don't have a Doomshroom to kill Dolphin Riders before they jump into the water, Golden Dolphin Riders can easily destroy our giant walnuts. Thankfully, the Blood Moon hadn't started yet, so we could still counter them with a Cherry Bomb on the ground lane. And well, the Blood Moon is where the actual challenge of this level is. Since by this point, we've already had to spend most of our instant kills earlier, and now we have to deal with faster and stronger zombies.
Yeah. Huh? What? Did you see that one, chat? The dolphin rider just jumped over the giant walnut. Excuse me?
To spend most of our instant kills earlier, and now we have to deal with faster and stronger
What
zombies.
the hell? The 3 jumps, bro.
To
What the
spend
fuck?
most of our instant kills earlier, and now we have to deal
1,
with faster
2.
and stronger
What the
zombies.
fuck?
To make
2
matters
jumps.
worse, we also have to deal
Ignored
with
it.
Gargantuars now, and we're not dealing with them if we don't spend multiple instant kills, considering we still only have 2 columns of chompers. Then from that point onwards, it's just downhill. The game just didn't give us enough chompers early on, and now we don't even have enough instant kills to deal with everything they're throwing at us. And well, what happens next? I'll let Live RCCH take over this one because this was insane. What the heck? How's the movement still going? I can't do nothing, man. Like this. Bro, and the moment just ended. Are you kidding me? I can't even do anything anymore. Hold on. This. We're f***ed right here, I think. We need to get flower pots for this. Oh no, okay. Yep, nice, we're good. Oh no, we're so screwed. Please? Wait, there's still another wave? Bruh!
Oh no. No flower
What am I supposed to
pots. Bro has no
This?
flower pots.
Okay.
He has not enough flower pots. Okay,
No,
oh shit, he's
modeling.
dead. He's dead.
Oh, come on. Yes! Save. Holy
Nice
shit,
clutch, nice clutch.
What was that really bad? I probably lost. Okay. Roof cleaner.
Here, here.
Boom, sure.
Oh god.
Boom, sure. Flower pot.
Flower pot.
Flower pot,
Yes,
man.
flower pot.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I think we got it, folks. No, no, no.
No, no. Boosh.
Okay, here. Oh my god. No, no.
Boosh. Oh god.
Oh no. Nope. Okay, we're fine. Here. No!
No.
Oh,
Oh no. Oh
we're not
no.
gonna the flags on there. We're not gonna put a flag here.
Bro's cooked. Oh no.
Okay.
Oh
Okay,
no.
we're fine. This. Oh my god. Please,
Oh no.
please, coffee bean.
No flower pot. No
Flower
flower
pot.
pot.
No, 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 no. Oh, no.
Bro's panicky.
Not ice cream.
No. No coffee
No.
bean. No coffee
No.
bean. No.
No, 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 no.
Oh, good, 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 good. Oh no. Nice clutch. Nice, nice,
Bro,
nice.
what the
Clutch.
heck was this? Oh my god.
Nice
Not
clutch,
even
nice
close over here. Holy shit, what was that? We're now
Nice
officially
clutch.
80% of the way through TD Mod's adventure mode, and well, let's just say that everything so far has
It's
been
a win.
completely nuts. And let's just say that it only gets more insane in World 9, which Crazy Dave will introduce to us
Exactly.
right now.
He clutched it.
This place has become a cemetery of death. Maybe you should bust the graves as soon as possible. Well, welcome to World 9, the Cemetery of Death. What's special about this world? Well, you can't really see it here, so let me cut. First things first, we can now use Doomshroom in this world since
Oh,
there's no longer a blood moon that deletes them outright. So what's stopping us
Wait,
from just all
what
Doomshroom in
did-
this world
what
since
did it
there's
say?
no longer a blood
what did bro say? We didn't use Doomshroom in World 8 because the Blood Moon instantly deletes all Doomshrooms on the board. Oh damn! Holy, holy, holy.
moon that deletes them outright. So what's stopping us from just alternating between Doomshroom and Imitator Doomshroom every wave, every level? Well, the gimmick of World
Whoosh.
9 prevents us from doing that. 3 gravestones spawn every wave instead of just 1. Just 2 extra gravestones every wave doesn't sound that bad, but that's not the only
Exactly.
change. In World 9, grave ambushes can now happen on any wave randomly. It doesn't have to be a flag, it just happens and there's no way to predict or prevent it. But the main difference comes with what is spawned by the grave ambushes. Usually, they only spawn
Gagi
basics and
Statam.
coneheads, but as the level progresses,
Boosh.
more powerful zombies start spawning from grave ambushes. It doesn't stop at backup dancers and newspaper zombies, as Michael Jackson and Buckethead zombies can also start spawning after the first flag. Yeah, it's pretty fair and balanced until you don't have Doomshroom. Then there's just literally nothing you can do to counter the mass zombies that
no.
spawn onto the lawn. In this scenario, all we could do was wait until Doomshroom was
Oh,
recharged
no.
again, which by then, it was already too late because half our defense was dead already. Oh, but surely you didn't think that was going to be it, right? What's different about the graves? you ask?
Fish! Oh no! Si Tatang!
They summoned the whole ass military on us. And you know it's bad when 2 nukes could not end the war. After that, we just don't have anything left for the top lane, so that's game, I guess. That's one way
Gargantor!
to stop us from cheesing every level
What the
of just
hell?
shrooms. Is it a bad sign that we're already struggling on the first level of World
Huh?
9? Maybe,
Exactly.
but that isn't gonna stop me.
Gargantor.
I immediately adjusted
It's
our
not even
loadout
the
after
rose
that run,
list to-
taking out Cherry Bomb for a while.
It's not even there a while ago. Biglang dumami.
Since we needed to block off
Biglang
problematic
may
zombies to keep
Gargantor.
our defense alive for longer.
What the
But
fuck?
that is probably not a viable option here, since the Graves don't care where we have plants. They just delete them to make space for themselves. If Walnut can't even protect our plants from being destroyed, not much point of running it, is there? Without enough magnet shrooms, Chompers just don't do enough damage to defend off the waves of Bucketheads this level. If we have to spend Doom Shrooms on regular waves, then when grave ambushes happen, we are royally screwed because there's absolutely no chance we can hold them off, especially since it's spawning high health zombies like Sunflower Zombies and Gargantuars.
Oh
Well,
shit.
the solution is actually pretty simple. Just don't use Chomper. If we use Gloom Shrooms, we can spend Doom Shroom without killing too many zombies.
What did you say? Killing less zombies equals they spawn at a slower pace. More time equals more plants. Damn, what the hell?
So we can stall the wave
But
side to
I
let
am
our Doom
speechless
Shrooms
as well.
recharge a bit more. And since Gloomshroom has infinite pierce, the extra grave ambush zombies make no difference early on when they're still not threatening. Just getting that extra time between waves is all we need to beat this level, because then when a threatening wave of grave ambush does spawn in, we will have Doomshroom at the ready to take out everything instantly. The solution sounds pretty boring,
Whoosh.
but just maximizing the number of Doomshrooms you can use is simply the best solution, like it always has been. And I imagine no one should be surprised how to beat the final wave when you have Doomshroom. When you can just have 2 of them, there's really nothing the zombies can do. I mean, what else do you want other than a literal
Whoosh.
nuke? But well, I wouldn't be celebrating just yet because of what's upcoming.
Oh no!
Not just some
not again with the twin sunflower zombie. What the hell?
Sunflower zombies, not just twin sunflower zombies, both on the same level. And guess what? It's a free flag level with only 50 starting sun.
Oh
Sorry,
no!
But how are we meant to beat this level if we couldn't even beat a level with just twin sunflower zombies normally with 100 times more starting sun? That's
Oh,
not
no.
to mention how cooked our early game is because of the Coned pea shooter zombies. So we have to spend our sun on walnuts too. I haven't even started talking about how the sunflower zombies spawn additional gravestones in the world where more graves are already spawning naturally. At this point, I might as well forget about renting Gravebuster if I'm gonna be honest. But hopefully, you didn't forget that each extra gravestone is
Oh
an
no! Oh
extra
no! Oh no! Oh
zombie
no!
from
Oh
a
no!
grave ambush. Sorry,
What
but
the X? Oh, I thought there's no back dancers.
this is literally the first grave ambush of the level, and what the hell am I
Ew.
looking at right now? Like, I can't even plant
Whoosh.
anything because there are so many Zombotany peas on the screen right now that are outright killing everything I place. Welcome to complete insanity. And by the time we finally have another Doomshroom to clear the field, we are left with only 2
Whoosh.
cop cannons remaining. Guess what? And by then, it's already the first flag. Oh yeah, what's for the first flag by the way? Oh! More grave ambush zombies again. Well, that's nice,
Oh,
isn't
no.
it? And guess what? Doomshroom doesn't
Huh?
even serve as a counter against this madness.
Boosh.
Since Sunflower Zombies spawn so many graves, you can't even
Oh,
place
no.
a Doomshroom in a spot
Oh,
where you
no.
can kill all the zombies
no.
anymore, when the front half of the entire lawn is just a graveyard. So that's another attempt
Bro,
down
did
the
not-
drain, just
Oh,
like
no.
that. Oh, but RCCH,
Oh.
why did you just focus on grave busting the middle lane so we would have space to plant a Doomshroom against grave ambushes? Just because you can't remove all the graves doesn't mean you can't use Doomshroom, right?
Wrong.
Right?
Oh
If you're confused about
He
how
ate
that even
it!
managed
no!
to
The zombie
happen,
ate it.
don't worry. I was just as confused as you were when first witnessing this, and I had to reread an almanac entry to actually understand what killed the Doomshroom.
In less than 0.5 seconds, the Zoomshroom was eaten. What the
So
fuck,
before I
chat?
tell you what happened, here's the beauty of a few hundred dancing zombies dancing in unison and killing literally everything we have. Well, turns out, dancing zombies are the culprit. According to the almanac, they do damage around themselves after each dance cycle. This is usually never noticeable because we use a wall plant to halt it in place and stop it from moving, which stops it from dancing. But when it is spawned from a grave, that counts as ending a dance cycle, so if 10 dancing zombies spawn at once, then it will do enough damage to kill our Doomshroom. Just wow. To avoid the same problem happening again, we'll just have to wait momentarily after the dancing zombies have spawned, and once they've done their passive attack,
Boom.
then we spend our Doomshroom to nuke the board. But the dancing zombies are just the tip of the iceberg of what's to come for this level. Because, well, I guess I'll let you see for yourself.
Oh God! Oh God, Gargantor! What the fuck? Gargantor, excuse me! What the fuck?
You see for yourself.
Bro, the Gargantos just spawned from the grave. Are you kidding me? What the fuck? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but this level surely is something else to witness. Does it get any more marvelous than just randomly spawning a bunch of zombies in your face that you can't counter at all? As if we weren't going to lose already, the game also crashed because of how many gravestones there were. Yup, I think we might have finally reached
Crash
the
number
breaking
1.
point. If you manage to get away unscathed by killing all the grave ambush zombies using your cop shots quickly, a new grave ambush can just spawn in its place every wave, and the sunflower zombies are still just adding more
Boosh.
graves onto the lawn to make each ambush stronger. With both sunflower and twin sunflower zombie on the same level, there
Boosh.
are just way too many graves that spawn for the game to handle.
Oh God.
So the game just crashes most of the time.
Crash
I'm not
number
even going
2.
to pretend that you can somehow beat this level normally, because there's just no way. There simply aren't enough explosives we can use that allow us to survive multiple consecutive grave ambushes, and we don't even start with extra sun, so
Oh,
there's
no.
no way we can afford more cop cannons. We stand essentially no chance if we don't abuse RNG manipulation to beat this level. I value your time, so I'm not gonna talk about the 2 hours of failed attempts it took me to find the seed.
Yeah, exactly.
Which has
Not the
no
shake
sunflower
again.
zombies in the first 6 waves. The main difference in this particular one was using jalapeno instead of ice room, so we could single out sunflower zombies in the early game without damaging the other zombies to stall the waves as much as possible. That's because we need the time to set up 10 cop cannons before the first flag. I also switched out walnut for pumpkins so we have more space to work with, since we'll only have half the lawn later when the front 4 columns are just going to be gravestones from the sunflower zombies. With maximum stalling, we will have enough time to set up all 10 cop cannons and also get rid of most of the gravestones before the first flag. After that, twin sunflower zombies start spawning. But instead of the 15
Oh
cop
God,
cannons that we could
boosh.
afford in level 8-7,
Oh
we
God,
only have 10
not the
because
shaking
the
again.
game started us with 50 sun only. We have to conserve our cop shots somehow, and there's no way we can spend a jalapeno every wave because we don't have that many instant kills. The solution? Just pray that all the twin sunflower zombies spawn in the middle lane where our 2 cop shots overlap and kill it with no additional cost is attached. It's a simple plan, but almost impossible to pull off. Here are the 40 failed attempts on just this one wave alone. Turns out, safe scumming until a particular zombie spawns in one lane only, and also timing both cop shots to land on it before it spawns more graves, is
Bro, what the heck is a shackling? What a shackling, bro?
a hell of a feat to pull off. And also, this strategy cannot deal with additional grave ambushes, so
What did bro say? Grave ambushes are random, unseeded, and we can get rid of them by simply reloading a save state and getting lucky. Damn.
we just have to save scum them out of existence.
My brain is
After an
fried too, don't
hour of
worry.
just resetting every wave like 40 times, we finally make it to the second flag. And now we have to actually beat a grave ambush since we cannot save scum the ones on flags out of the level. And it's really tricky because we need to kill the catapult zombies the instant they spawn,
What the
or
heck?
else our board gets wiped. It took a bunch of attempts, but eventually, I mastered the timing and managed to kill literally every grave ambush zombie before any damage could be done. Absolute frame perfect timing was required. But if you thought we could just beat the rest of the waves by repeating what we did previously by save scumming every twin sunflower zombie into the middle lane, here's the problem with that. If you couldn't guess,
Shaking
that's
again.
the fact that the game will just
Crash
crash.
number 3.
It doesn't matter how lucky we are, how much skill we have, or how much endurance we have to complete every level in this mod. The game simply does not allow us to move forward, and
Crash
I do
number
my
4.
best. It seems like this level is just straight up impossible to beat because there's just no way to proceed if the game crashes. Unfortunately, we have to skip this level, but I'm satisfied with how much we tried. The Cemetery of Death has already been incredibly tough in just its first 2 levels, and the upcoming 4 levels all either have the Sunflower Zombie or Twin Sunflower Zombie. 9-3 is a 2-flag level with Twin Sunflower Zombie, and the only realistic way we even stand a chance is by using Cop Cannons again, because nothing kills Twin Sunflower Zombies as fast as Cop Cannons do. It's only 2 flags long, which makes it the shortest of all World 9 levels, but in Total Death Edition, random grave ambushes of 100 zombies can spawn at any moment. I find it pretty difficult even to differentiate these levels apart, because at every level, they just throw the same stupid garbage at you, and even with Cop Cannons to quickly burst these ambushes down, you're still losing half the defense in the process. As their later ambushes contain stronger zombies,
Oh god, that's a lot of Merganters! And giant football zombies!
Not even Doom
Boosh!
can save us here because the giant all-star zombies require 3 explosions to kill.
Oh
and
no!
There is no
Oh no!
stalling them
Oh
after
no!
using our ice
Bruh.
shroom. Now, of course, even if you keep your Cop Cannons alive, you
Boosh.
have to remember to use all the Cop shots before they die in 0.1 seconds to a catapult zombie. Of course, that's something
Bye,
that
have a great
totally doesn't
time.
require instant reaction time and precise timing.
Oh no! Oh no!
Don't
Oh
even
no!
tell me otherwise. But why
Bruh.
can't we take advantage of the design of this level? It's a 2-flag level, we can just ignore the fact we have no defense
Kaya
left
nga
and let
exactly.
our lawnmowers take out everything. Then wait until the final wave and hope Doomshroom pulls through. Well, of course, since lawnmowers have limited range, they don't take out Twin Sunflower Zombies, and these guys will just keep stacking more gravestones onto the lawn. It's
Bro,
like a ticking
bro,
time bomb.
bro, the
If you
zombie
spend too
there!
much time not killing the zombies, then too many graves spawn and you can't even
Bro,
play the
bro,
game
bro,
anymore
bro,
because the final
bro.
wave will just crash your game.
Crash
So
number
since we
5.
can't stall the waves out, the only way to improve our chances of winning is to beat the level faster. The only way to do that is to plant even more Cop Cannons. Seems ridiculous, because your Cop Cannons in the front are almost guaranteed to die during a grave ambush, but you just need some help from RNGesus for that to not happen. It's fully possible to defend against a grave ambush if you react fast enough with Doomshroom and shoot your cops quickly. I know I'm not exactly doing this perfectly, but no one is perfect. And just to prove a point, I still managed to keep 5 of our Cop Cannons alive at the very least. Okay, but if you make it to the final wave and not crash, you then have to not be the idiot who spends their ice shroom freezing nothing. I was panicking, and that probably cost us the entire
Oh.
game right there, when we probably would have won otherwise.
Oh, no.
On our 4th attempt, without cheating by the way. Even more embarrassingly, even though we were only 1 correctly timed ice shroom away from beating the level, I would have 20 more failed attempts because I
Like
was just
5 crash
bad
na
at
by
the
the way.
game. Looking
5
back at
crashes.
this, it was just pure pain because I was legitimately just constantly throwing and fumbling. I don't even have the space to show you all the failed attempts I had on this one level alone. Now, even though the Imitator Cop Cannon strategy is good, Imitator Doomshroom is
Whoosh.
just easier to use because we just plant 2 of them and we can kill all the Grave Ambush zombies. That one change made it so much easier to beat the level than I thought, because now, we don't even
Oh,
need to
God!
use Cop Cannons to survive the final wave.
Whoosh.
I mean, surely we all know where Doomshroom is
Whoosh.
going on the tier list when that happens, right? And that marks the end of level 9-3. Oh,
Nice.
but you haven't seen difficult yet if we don't talk about level 9-4, which is one of the more
Oh, no.
ridiculous levels in Total Death Edition. If even a single Sunflower Zombie spawns in the first 2 waves of the level, we have to instantly restart for a better early game. This process was so tedious, we ended up spending more time restarting the level than
Oh,
actually
God.
playing it. Like, straight up. Just hours of me pressing restart over and over again. It's a game of patience, but eventually, we do get some runs where our early game is good enough that an early restart is not necessary. Be aware that the grave ambushes in this level are extra deadly because there will already be graves accumulated by the first flag, and it's not as easy
Exactly,
as just
the
Doomshroom and problem
patience.
solved, because
The
there will
freaking
always be a
patience.
chance that a grave ambush happens in the next wave again, and now we're back to square one again. More Plants vs RNGesus, I see. Keep in mind that I'm only showing runs where not many Sunflower Zombies spawn early on, and this is the difficulty when you're lucky. Without actual RNG manipulation, back-to-back grave ambushes are here to stay, so we have to react quickly enough with our Cop Cannons to keep our defense alive. But it doesn't even matter if your reaction speed is good, because Jack-in-the-Box zombies now instantly detonate when they touch a sunflower after World 9. Yeah,
Oh, no.
that explains why we have no sunflowers left. And if you thought that was bad, hopefully you didn't forget about the enraged ladder zombies. Good luck defending that using Cop Cannons, because you'll certainly need a lot of it to actually counter it. All you need is to get extremely lucky and lob a butter at just the right time to stop an enraged ladder zombie. I'm starting to see a certain pattern emerging
Oh
right
my
now.
gosh!
It's not even that relevant that we have
Boosh!
Doomshroom here, since just using it for regular waves means you won't have it for the grave ambushes. When an inevitable grave ambush spawns, we need both Imitator Doomshroom and regular Doomshroom to counter it. Otherwise, we're
Boosh!
just gonna die a painful death
Oh,
to
no.
the Gargantor imps. By the way, I
Nice
haven't
catch
even
here.
mentioned that we have to survive for almost 3 flags of this.
Huh? Can we just focus how it says sing here? Like crossing? It's like the one we have here in the Philippines. Pedestrian crossing.
I mean, this has to be some sort of practical joke by the modder. Of course, if you don't have luck on your side, then you can always sacrifice your lawnmowers against enraged louder zombies. But just be aware that if you don't have lawnmowers, then the chances of you surviving giant all-stars from grave ambushes
Boosh.
is close to none.
Boosh.
What am I even looking at right now? And as usual, just surviving is not enough, as we also have to prevent the game from killing itself from all
no.
the gravestones that get spawned. After spending 2 more hours trying to beat this level legitimately, I couldn't even get past the second flag without crashing because sunflower zombies are just that stupid. Like,
7.
forget about having a defense against the zombies. We haven't even found a way to stop the game from killing itself at this point. This is why I can see that
6
this
crash,
level
7
is
crash.
simply impossible if you don't use some sort of RNG manipulation.
8
the
crash.
difficulty of this level does not only call for extreme save scum. It requires the foreseer method because we need to find the seed where there are as few sunflower zombies as possible. Yeah, we are digging deep into the iceberg of cheats for this one. Even with foreseer RNG manipulation and extreme save scum, we still only managed to get 4 cop cannons before the first flag. And after a lot of effort reloading every single wave over and over again, I made it to the second flag, which required a lot of optimizing for us to get to this point with 7 cop cannons standing and gravestones only in the frontmost 2 columns. Eventually, we made it to the penultimate wave of the level, and here, I had to sack 7 lawnmowers because I had no more cop shots and we could not afford to spend a doom shroom, since we needed 2 of them for the final wave. And so, does that mean we finally beat the level? Well, the game didn't crash for once, but because there were so many zombies on the screen, the game dropped a bunch of frames, so many frames in fact, the game froze and became completely unresponsive. I spent 4 hours, 4 whole hours, finding the perfect seed, manipulating zombie spawns, and playing perfectly, and then on the final wave, this happens. Yeah, I give up. We're skipping this one.
Oh god.
Now, time for a little break from insanity. If you couldn't tell by how my cursor looks, it's Whack-A-Zombie again, and it doesn't seem to be different from the original version. We're still going to need an auto-clicker to beat this level because of how fast the zombies spawn later, so there's that, but, I mean, it's nothing I couldn't handle. Well, same as the original Whack-A-Zombie, that's what I thought. Hey,
oh my god! Oh god!
Well, I left out one very important detail. I didn't expect the game to throw us 100 dancing zombies and 100 sunflower zombies on the final wave.
It crashed.
It took less than 10 seconds for the game to crash, and maybe the 600 gravestones that spawn
there you
here
go.
have something to do with
Crash.
it. The only logical thing to do here, make the auto-clicker even faster. I upped the auto-clicker to 1,000 times per second. It's so quick that the whacking animation of the hammer doesn't even render anymore.
Hello, Digital Talong. Welcome to the stream. How are you? How are you? We are just finishing the remaining 2 hours of this thing. The modded Plants vs Zombies.
Well, in case you were wondering, of course, the autoclicker at 1,000 clicks per second managed to kill enough twin sunflower zombies before the game crashed. It still took quite a while to kill everything because you could only click once a frame, so this was probably more than overkill for this level. That concludes our short break against the Grave Ambush Madness in World 9. But oh boy, I don't think anyone is going to be prepared for the—
Oh, hi love, welcome to the stream. Oh god. you missed you kinda missed a lot already. You missed the first 1 hour.
Coming Stupidity, level 9-6. Yeah, with both Gargantuars and Giga Gargantuars on top of Sunflower Zombies. If you thought Sunflower Zombies on the first wave were bad enough, in this level, we have Jack-in-the-Box Zombies on wave 1. This level removes spawning limitations on all of the special zombies, which includes Giga Gargantuars, of course.
Oh god.
At this point, I think the modder is just trolling us because there's no way they actually beat this level legitimately. Even with cop cannons, Giga Gargantuars are almost impossible to kill since they tank 5 explosives in this mod.
Whoosh.
Previously, we just killed them using lawnmowers because they only spawn on the final wave, but this is the first time we have to deal with them conventionally. To kill just one of these guys, we have to spend literally half of all our cop shots. We usually don't even have that many cop shots ready to use at once. And of course, we still have to deal with the grave ambushes. And spending all our reserve cop shots ensures that we die to dancing zombies immediately after. I mean, yeah, this is just— I don't even know what to say. I'm flabbergasted. I can't even describe this level of stupidity anymore with words. And we have finally reached peak difficulty in the TD mod. forget the Giga Gargantuars. You can't even deal with all the other stuff this level throws at you because the giant football zombies are also so tanky, and you also have to defend off the Jack-in-the-Box zombies that kill all your sunflowers and defenses. Now mix it in with sunflower zombies, just fair and balanced as always. It's not like we even have a choice in our loadout because the other strategies suck even more this level. Gatling Peas don't take out imps fast enough, and even with Torchwood, they don't even kill Giga Gargantuars quick enough, and they also suck against Jack-in-the-Box zombies. This is just a complete disaster. And about Winter Melons, I would say that they're somehow even worse than Gatling Peas here because of the imps from Giga Gargantuars, which are basically impossible to counter because Winter Melons attack so slowly.
Nice.
And their splash only affects 3 tiles at once, so they don't even put a dent into the zombies from grave ambushes. It's basically just Doomshroom versus zombies at this point. I mean, Winter Melon doesn't even have any redeeming qualities.
Ano na nangyari sa CR ako naliligo? Oh, bro. Oh, you didn't miss much. It's like basically all of this.
Forget about
this
the
happened.
enraged ladder zombies. Good luck defending that using cop cannons because you'll certainly
That's a
need a lot of it to actually counter it. All you need is to get extremely lucky and lava puncher at just the right time to stop an enraged ladder zombie. I'm starting to see a certain pattern emerging right now. It's not even that relevant that we have from here, since just using it for regular waves means you won't have it for the grave ambushes. When an inevitable grave ambush spawns,
oh my god, that's a lot of
both Imitator Doomshroom and regular Doomshroom.
That's a lot of Gargantuars, bro.
We're just gonna die a painful death to the Gargantuar imps.
Nice clutch right there.
I haven't even mentioned that we have to survive for almost 3 flags of this. I mean, this has to be some sort of practical joke by the modder. Of course, if you don't have luck on your side, then you can always sacrifice your lawnmowers against a ranged zombies. But just be aware that if you don't have lawnmowers, then the chances of you surviving giant all-stars from grave ambushes is
all-stars.
What am I even looking at right now? And as usual, just surviving is not enough, as we also have to prevent the game from killing itself from all the gravestones that get spawned. After
pang ilan na yan? 10th crash.
2 more hours trying to beat this level legitimately, I couldn't even get past the 2nd flag without crashing because sunflower zombies are just that stupid. Like,
11!
forget about having a defense against the zombies. We haven't even found a way to stop the game from killing
the patterns,
bro. This is why I can see that this level is simply impossible if you don't use some sort of RNG manipulation. The difficulty of this level does not only call for extreme save scum. It requires the Foreseer method because we need to find the seed where there are as few sunflower zombies as possible. Yeah, we are digging deep into the iceberg of cheats for this one. Even with Foreseer, RNG manipulation, and extreme save scum, we still only managed to get 4 cop cannons before the first flag. And after a lot of effort reloading every single wave over and over again, I made it to the 2nd flag, which required a lot of optimizing for us to get to this point with 7 cop cannons standing and gravestones only in the frontmost 2 columns. Eventually, we made it to the penultimate wave of the level, and here, I had to sack several lawnmowers because I had no more cop shots and we could not afford to spend a Doomshroom, since we needed 2 of them for the final wave. And so, does that mean we finally beat the level? Well, the game didn't crash for once, but because there were so many zombies on the screen, the game dropped a bunch of frames, so many frames in fact, the game froze and became completely unresponsive. I spent 4 hours, 4 whole hours, finding the perfect seed, manipulating zombie spawns, and playing perfectly, and then on the final wave, this happens. Yeah, I give up. We're skipping this one. Now, time for a little break from insanity. If you couldn't tell by how my cursor looks, it's Whack-a-Zombie again,
you missed this one,
it doesn't seem
Jericho.
to be different from the original version. We're still
You
going
got
to need
to
an
see the
auto-clicker to beat
Whack-a-Zombie.
this level because of how fast the zombies spawn later, so there's that, but, I mean, it's nothing I couldn't handle. Well, same as the original Whack-a-Zombie, that's what I thought. Well, I left out one very important detail. I didn't expect the game to throw us 100 dancing zombies and 100 twin sunflower zombies on the final wave. It took less than 10 seconds for the game to crash.
Yeah, Whack-a-Zombie with
maybe the
Jackson.
600 gravestones that spawn here have something to do with that. The only logical thing to do here, make the auto-clicker even faster. I upped the auto-clicker to 1,000 times per second. It's so quick that the whacking animation of the hammer doesn't even render anymore. Well, in case you were wondering, of course, the auto-clicker at 1,000 clicks per second managed to kill enough twin sunflower zombies before the game crashed. It still took quite a while to kill everything because you could only click once a frame, so this was probably more than overkill for this level. that concludes our short break against the Grave Ambush Madness in World 9. But oh boy, I don't think anyone is going to be prepared for the upcoming Stupidity level 9-6. Yeah, with both Gargantuars and Giga Gargantuars on top of Sunflower Zombies. If you thought Sunflower Zombies on the first wave were bad enough, in this level, we have Jack-in-the-Box Zombies on wave 1. This level removes spawning limitations on all of the special zombies, which includes Giga Gargantuars of course. At this point, I think the modder is just trolling us because there's no way they actually beat this level legitimately. Even with Cob Cannons, Giga Gargantuars are almost impossible to kill since they tank 5 explosives in this mod. Previously, we just killed them using lawnmowers because they only spawn on the final wave, but this is the first time we have to deal with them conventionally. To kill just one of these guys, we have to spend literally half of all our cop shots. We usually don't even have that many cop shots ready to use at once. And of course, we still have to deal with the grave ambushes, and spending all our reserve cop shots ensures that we die to dancing zombies immediately after. I mean, yeah, this is just, I don't even know what to say. I'm flabbergasted. I can't even describe this level of stupidity anymore with words, and we have finally reached peak difficulty in the TD mod. Forget the Giga Gargantuars. You can't even deal with all the other stuff this level throws at you, because the giant football zombies are also so tanky, and you also have to defend off the Jack-in-the-Box zombies that kill all your sunflowers and defenses. Now mix it in with sunflower zombies, just fair and balanced as always. It's not like we even have a choice in our loadout, because the other strategies suck even more this level. Gatling Piece don't take out imps fast enough, and even with Torchwood, they don't even kill Giga Gargantuars quick enough, and they also suck against Jack-in-the-Box zombies. This is just a complete disaster. And about Wintermelons, I would say that they're somehow even worse than Gatling Peas here, because of the imps from Giga Gargantuars, which are basically impossible to counter because Wintermelons attack so slowly. And their splash only affects 3 tiles at once, so they don't even put a dent into the zombies from grave ambushes. It's basically just Doomshroom versus zombies at this point. I mean, Wintermelon doesn't even have any redeeming qualities. They don't hit balloon zombies, they don't kill dancing zombies quickly enough, because they're slow as hell, and they whiff against newspaper zombies. What's even the purpose of using Wintermelon in total definition? Even with Cob Cannons. This level requires some next level reflexes with your instant kills to launch 5 instants at the same time to avoid an imp being thrown. You could probably beat this if you save scum all the Giga Gargantuars into the middle lane, but knowing what happened in level 9-2, it's most likely that the game is just going to crash against Sunflower Zombies anyways. So, I'm not going to try and beat this level. 9-7 is finally something unique for once, since it's a locked and loaded level. That's good news because it means that the modder probably had to make sure you could beat the level with the pre-selected loadout. We start with a ton of sun and some pre-built defense, but notice that the loadout has no sun producers, so these few sunflowers are all we have for sun generation. The only thing we can do is spam chompers off cooldown, because what else are you supposed to do with these plants? But anyways, since we can't plant more sunflowers, our main objective is to make sure that they don't die, which I did a terrible job at on my first attempt. And keeping all our sun producers alive is basically life or death. We won't have enough sun to spend on Gravebusters if we lose even just 1 or 2 sunflowers. Since we don't have more than 1 Doomshroom and 1 Ice Room at this level,
even
any
our internet's going
is
nuts.
an instant game over for us. So having enough sun to bust out every single grave is a necessity to beat this level. This level appears to be easy on the surface, but it's a lot easier to lose a sunflower than you think. Even the weak zombies like newspapers are a big threat because we only have chompers, which is a straight attack. Gargantuars are also super annoying because their imps land directly on top of our sunflowers. Aside from that, the occasional grave ambush, even with just a few zombies, can cause devastating damage. It could be giant all-stars, catapult zombies, and even more Gargantuars, meaning even more imps that can destroy our defenses. And if we skimp out on repairing our defense, we can only stall for so long with instant kills and puff shrooms before our eventual timely demise. But the most devastating zombie this level has to be dancing zombies, where one single mistake can cost 3 chompers and 3 pumpkins immediately, and oftentimes also 2 more chompers and a twin sunflower. This happening is basically an instant game over because there's no way you would recover from that. What makes this even more annoying is when dancing zombies stack on top of each other, so you don't even know if there's a second dancing zombie until it's too late already and you lose the game on the spot. But if RNGesus isn't actively sabotaging us,
we have 8 viewers tonight. Welcome in. Oh, I see Waffle lurking. I see Waffle and Beshi Nash lurking. Hello, Beshi. Can I have a shout out for Nashi, please? Thank you. And You can also put in shout out, there you go, Joseph Waffle, VT. He's also here lurking. Can I give a shout out, please? Thank you. Shout out to Joseph Waffle, VT.
We can defend anything.
From
Even imps are
Vitondo.
defendable as long as you time your instant use plans properly. Emphasis on the if, because there are just so many ways it can mess you up with the grave ambushes that spawn throughout the level. Even if you play everything correctly, in total definition, a backup dancer can suddenly appear from a grave and trample up 3
Lies.
combos. You can't
You're here. You're here, Waffle.
even catch a freaking break, man. And perfect play is what is needed to beat this level. Grave busters as soon as graves show up. Insane reaction speed against double stack dancing zombies. Spending 2 instant kills simultaneously against gargantuars before we can even find the imp. And also constantly replenishing our column of puffshrooms in front of our pumpkins to block off all-star zombies from grave ambushes. I continued my momentum well past the second flag, where I had this beautiful cherry bomb and doomshroom combo to finish off 2 waves at once. But RNGesus decided to spawn a grave ambush right after we spent our doomshroom, so everything went to shit immediately. But this happened close to the end of the level, so we could afford to just let Blover stall out the waves and wait for the final wave. Just doomshroom to clean up the zombies, and that is finally game. Even locked and loaded levels are somehow difficult in total definition. This literally took 30 or so something attempts to beat.
Nice.
Next level, level 9-8. This is probably the easiest in the entire World 9, and it's pretty obvious because it's just a bunch of squishy zombies mixed with gargantuars and jalapeno zombies. Gloomshrooms are the optimal pick here. They shut up dancing zombies super quickly, and then of course we utilize the Blover slowdown to kill pogo zombies just like we have done so previously. Jalapeno zombies are the biggest threats here, but we can just spend an instant kill to neutralize them. With Imitator Doomshroom 2, I didn't see how we could even lose here, so I brought in Hypnoshroom as a mean pick. But that would backfire extremely quickly, as a jalapeno zombie somehow exploded before it was even visible on the screen. I didn't even know that was possible, and one thing led to another and our entire defense collapsed on itself like a domino. I would have actually beaten the level if it weren't for the fact my Doomshroom died to the Zombotny piece. If only we didn't have a useless piece of trash. Well, obviously, Ice Shroom would have saved us in that scenario, so sorry Hypnoshroom, back to the Shadow Realm where you belong. Even with jalapeno zombies exploding across the lawn, this defense can still hold its own because we only really need 2 Gloomshrooms to cover all 5 lanes. And that's actually enough to make it to the final wave. Just 2 Gloomshrooms shredding everything the game throws at us. Without butchering our Doomshroom on the final wave, we kill off the Grave Ambush and we just wait for Doomshroom to recharge again, and that's an easy win for us. And finally, the penultimate level of World 9. What better way to end it other than a showdown against Giga Gargantuars? The main gimmick of this level is that it removes spawning limitations on special zombies again. Only in total definition do dancing zombies spawn on wave 1. We don't even have defense in every lane, and Giga Gargantuars are already coming in. We are so screwed. We already lack damage output to take these guys down, and imps make it worse by landing directly on our chompers and taking them out instantly. And to prevent these imps, we need to spend 2 instant kills, which is just very unsustainable in the long run. It's only the first flag, and there are already 3 Giga Gargantuars, and this is a free flag level. Oh, and Imitator Doomshroom, it's not even good enough to take these big guys down. And imps get thrown to the back of the defense and eat up all our chompers. It's an absolute bloodbath. We already established that Gatling Peas, Winter Melons, and even Cop Cannons were not good enough against Giga Gargantuars a few levels prior. So that leaves us with only Gloomshroom as our damage option, which, let's say, is interesting against Giga Gargantuars. The typical staggered Gloom formation isn't strong enough for Giga Gargantuars on the side lanes, but it's enough for the middle lane if we support it with double Ice Shroom.
That's a lot of Giga Gargantuars.
But there are just so many Giga Gargantuars. They keep coming and they don't stop coming. There's no way you can spend squashes on them all. We can only stall so much before our Gloomshrooms get smashed. Don't forget that we still have to deal with the gravestones in this level too, and we currently have no plan for grave ambushes. On the surface, this seems to be yet another impossible level, but trust me, there is actually a unique strategy to beat it, so keep watching to see what it is. The first new idea I tried was actually Flower Pot. So what you do is plant a sacrificial plant in front of a Giga Gargantuar, immediately dig it up, then plant another again after it smashes, and infinitely stall it out until we eventually kill it with Gloomshrooms. The funniest part of this is that it actually works, and you have to use Flower Pot, since Puffshrooms doesn't recharge fast enough for an infinite stall. However, since the infinite stall only works if the Giga Gargantuars are slowed, we have to use both Ice Shroom and Imitator Ice Shroom to get full uptime on our board-wide slowdown. One problem I forgot to account for is that Ice Shroom freezes dancing zombies in the back of the lawn before they reach the Gloom Shrooms, so backup dancers start spawning in the back instead, unleashing waves of Zombotany Ps at our Gloom Shrooms. This was problematic enough that a few of our Gloom Shrooms ended up dying even if they had pumpkins protecting them, and it made us lose the game.
Oh shit!
Well, a solution that doesn't require constant
This one
refreezing
that
would
came
utilize
in.
kernel pots instead, since they can do the same thing as flower pots. Then you may ask, what the hell is Garlic doing here?
Garlic!
Well, it's some producer, since both Gargantuars
Useless!
and zombies cannot spawn in the first lane. Basically, we're doing half Gloom Walk, half Gloom Walk. Surprisingly, just Gloom Shrooms from the side do enough damage against Giga Gargantuars in the open lanes, and it even cleans up the imps quite efficiently. But the problem this setup has is against football zombies because they move way too fast and we don't have wall plants to hold them in place. These guys have half the health of Giga Gargantuars but move like 5 times as fast. I suppose you can do the math and see where the problem is. Plus, all it takes is just one all-star zombie in lane 4 and our Gloom Shroom in the front is a goner. If that Gloom Shroom dies, then it's just GG because that's the only way we could defend the bottom 3 lanes. But one way to fix this problem is with Pumpkin. It will block off regular football zombies in our empty lanes and give time for Gloom Shrooms to do damage. Of course, Pumpkin also protects our lane 4 Gloom Shroom from an all-star charge, and Kernel Pulse stun is good enough to buy us time to take it out. But we're not guaranteed to get any butter from Kernel Pulse since it's random, so once again, we're at the wrath of RNGesus. Who doesn't love that? As much as I'd love for Gloom Walk to be viable, just having a staggered Gloom setup is better for reliability. Our Gloom Shroom can still die if we don't get enough butter from Kernel Pulse, but even if a Gloom Shroom dies, we will still have defense in every other lane and be safe until we can repair our setup. We've got to make sure everything is slowed down at all times, so we've got Blover on top of double Ice
star
Shroom,
emoji.
just for extra insurance against backup dancers. And I know Walnut looks redundant because we have Pumpkin already, but it's pretty important to hold newspaper zombies and football zombies in place because we can't rely on Kernel Pulse to stun these guys when they move so fast. But I suppose relying on stalling plants is incomparable to having Doomshroom as an effective counter to the grave ambushes. Without Doomshroom, our defense quickly folds against the massive hordes of zombies, and even Gloomshroom's infinite peers can't save us because of how many zombies there are. But even with Doomshroom, we can't put much of a dent on Giga Gargantuars. Moreover, imps became extremely problematic since Kernel Pulse don't do enough damage fast enough to kill them without the extra damage provided by Blovers. All our Kernel Pulse were dying, and I realized this problem way too late.
How much Gargantuar are there? So many, Alex.
To get imp defense in 4 lanes, and sacrificing a lawnmower to imps is not even a good play because the lawnmower doesn't even take out the Giga Gargantuars. And guess what? A few seconds later, the imps are back because each Giga Gargantuar froze 5 imps. So we're screwed again.
Hello to the 10
I
viewers.
brought 2 Gloom Shrooms in the back this time.
Welcome
on
to the
column 1
stream.
because imps cannot land there. I also put Gloom Shrooms on the top and bottom lanes this time, which makes the defense much better against Giga.
Who are in the chat right now? Who's lurking? Who's lurking? Oh, oh. Jericho. Can I have a shout out to Gold Despair? GHOUL Despair. Welcome to the stream, Goal. Welcome to the stream.
Giga Gargantuars in even lanes. These small adjustments in our Gloom Shroom placements allowed us to make it to the second flag with our full defense intact. With the additional support of Twin Sunflower, I could afford to remove every gravestone on the field, eliminating the threat of grave ambushes as well. But I couldn't anticipate that the size of Giga Gargantuars would become a problem. I placed the Gravebuster in the middle lane thinking it would be safe, but then a dancing zombie showed out of nowhere, and yeah, there goes our Gloom Shroom, man. This one incident alone was enough for us to lose the game because we just lost a third of our damage output, and there's just no way to kill anything with only Kernel Pulse in the middle lane. This has to be the first time we've ever lost because the zombie's actual size was obstructing our view of other zombies. We can't make Giga Gargantuar smaller, but we certainly can kill them faster by moving our Gloom Shrooms a whole column forward. Not only does this allow us to kill Giga Gargantuars quicker, but having an extra Kernel Pulse in every lane helps with our consistency in buttering up Giga Gargantuars. And there's also a really smart solution to the dancing zombie situation from our last run. By just planting sacrificial sunflowers in the very front, we can force more gravestones to spawn behind our Gloom Shrooms instead of the front.
Oh no.
This also temporarily stalls out the zombies, making it safer for our Gloom Shrooms that get a bit more time to kill everything while removing the risk from planting Gravebusters as we're not putting it into a sea of Gargantuars. On top of that, we're adding another precaution by planting redundant gloom shrooms on the 6th column, which will
You
act as
have
an
a dirty
extra line of
keyboard.
defense when our first
Nice
line
one,
of gloom
Alex.
shrooms inevitably goes down. And you can see that extra precaution gloom shroom coming into play after the 2nd flag, since it starts spawning zombonis from grave ambushes after that. I imagine you can now see that if we didn't have those extra gloom shrooms on the 6th column,
Boom.
we probably would have been completely cooked, but we're alive because of it. After all of that optimization, we can finally beat level 9-9, finishing off the last Choose Your Seeds level in the Cemetery of Death. Of all things, Colonel Bolt was the solution to Giga Gargantuars. The last level in World 9. Buckle up, as this conveyor belt level is the one to end all conveyor belt levels. Straight away, you may notice that we're getting the same plants from level 2-10. And even the zombies are the same because it's newspapers, screen doors, footballs, and dancers. Yeah, if you thought this was a free win, not so fast. After the first flag, it's time for ladder zombies.
Si Tatang!
Also zombies, and we don't even have a wall plant. The worst part is, they are twin sunflower zombies? Sorry, what? Look, the attack
Father ladder
are
zombies.
Scaredy Shroom and Fume Shroom. How is it even possible to kill the twin sunflower zombies? You don't, I guess that's the answer, and that's why this will be the first crash of many to come.
Neither
How
of
on
us.
earth can we even beat this if we don't get infinite Doom Shrooms from the conveyor belt? Well, I accidentally stumbled into this completely intended feature. If the conveyor belt is almost full, planting the incoming seed packet instantly generates a new seed packet in the conveyor belt. In other words, we get new plants infinitely fast by simply keeping the conveyor belt full. That is crazy. You can do all sorts of stuff with this. Have you ever seen this many Hypno Shrooms? We can literally plant an ice shroom every 0.1 seconds and have the zombies stand still forever. In Total Death Edition, everything is fair and balanced once and for all. It might seem impossible to lose with this exploit, but actually, we still don't get Gravebusters fast enough to outpace the Twin Sunflower zombies. And even with Doom Shroom, since we're cock-blocked by the gravestones, each Doom Shroom can't even kill more than 2 zombies. If we can't kill the Twin Sunflower zombies, then it doesn't even matter, we have infinite plants. We die by the game crashing. Yeah, literally infinite plants, and we still lose. By the way, I haven't even talked about the grave ambushes yet. You can get a bunch of ice shrooms to stall the zombies, but you still have to clean them up. Those ice shrooms are also useless as protecting our plants from getting obliterated by the catapult zombies. Now, of course, it doesn't matter if you have no fume shrooms, since you can just get infinite doom shrooms from the conveyor belt to kill everything the game throws at us. But just surviving is not enough, since the doom shroom can't hit the twin sunflower zombies in the back. Even with victory so close in sight, just the final wave's twin sunflower zombies make the difference whether the game crashes or not. And that is assuming you get doom shrooms from the conveyor belt. The conveyor belt can still get the crash as you're about to die, forcing us to spend a clogger to chump block, breaking the infinite stream of plants until the conveyor belt fills up again. By that time that can happen, you're already fully screwed against whatever you were trying to defend. Even with an infinite stream of plants, you're still at the wrath of RNGesus. But not all hope is lost yet. There are still more ways to swing the odds in our favor. By exploiting conveyor belt logic, we can get more ice shrooms and doom shrooms.
I lost.
Since it's
we lost count already on how many times the game crashed. What the hell?
less likely we get plants we already have 4 of in the conveyor belt. Clogging it with puff shrooms and scaredy shrooms means we get fewer of them, therefore more of everything else. It will allow us to plant more instant use plants, but having a bunch of useless garbage clogged in our conveyor belt means we don't have any backup safety, and we can't just rely on the conveyor belt to instantly give us all doom shrooms and ice shrooms when a great amount responds, because it's still random. And finally, ultimate solution will clog the conveyor belt with 4 puff shrooms, 2 scaredy shrooms, 2 ice shrooms, and a doom shroom. The ice shrooms will buy us enough time for when a grave ambush spawns, and the conveyor belt will give us whatever we need, which will be a reliable way to defend ourselves while still getting more doom shrooms than usual. But just because we're getting more doom shrooms, it doesn't mean they're useful if they can't quick.
I'm gonna go eat na Kira. Abangan ko na lang VOD nito sa DC. Di ko na kaya cake. Okay! Good night, Jericho!
And after
Thanks for hanging out.
It still seems like we're short.
Alex says, the strongest zombie in this game is a game that crashes.
Of being able to beat the
That's
level
so
because
real.
it still ends up crashing on the final wave. But the solution to this level is already in sight. It's all about our determination and our persistence. The only problem was how Doomshroom couldn't hit the Twin Sunflower zombies because of the gravestones. If there aren't gravestones blocking the way, then we can just use Doomshroom normally. And the secret to beating this level, it's just luck. If no Twin Sunflower zombies spawn in the middle lane, then you can keep Doomshrooming every wave as soon as it spawns in like nobody's business. I mean, what else did you expect me to do? There is not really anything I can do with the plans I was given other than maximizing our Doomshroom value. The most impressive part of this run was that it was legitimate, meaning no safe scum,
Oh,
and
no.
I just so happened to not have any Twin Sunflower Zombies spawn in the middle lane for the entire level. Apparently, I was the first person who was crazy enough to sit down for 4 hours and grind to beat this level without cheating, though that's up for debate whether the conveyor belt glitch is cheating or not. One last Doomshroom, and that's it for the 9th world of the TD mod. This means we are now only one world away from finally completing
Dr.
adventure
Zombos!
mode, which Crazy Dave shall introduce to us right now.
Oh! Here it comes!
You
Two
should be aware of
pools!
zombies that rise from the water. And zombie ambushes. The final world of Total Death Edition is the Great Wall. And yes, it took me playing for a whole year to get here, and this is the final obstacle.
Wait,
and
the
yes,
average what?
It took me
Oh
playing
my
for
god,
a whole
80
year to get
minutes!
here, and this is the final obstacle before we beat Adventure Mode once and
Jesus.
for all. The Great Wall features 2 small pools of water in the middle, making these lanes technically aquatic, so zombies only spawn in free lanes at the start of each level. These 2 tiles in the front are also water tiles, which seem irrelevant for now, but they play a role later. But here comes the first of the new water ambushes.
Whoa.
Random zombies are now summoned periodically in the 2 pools
Oh
of water.
god!
As you
Oh
can
god,
see,
that's so
I pre-planned
unfair!
the Doomshroom because I expected this to happen. But imagine if I hadn't. Things could have gone south very quickly. Aside
Yeah,
from
exactly.
the new water ambushes, stray zombies now also come in the hidden 6th lane where we can't plant in. Fun, isn't it?
Bruh.
Now, a good thing about water ambushes is that they're not random like grave ambushes. Instead, they spawn at a hard total time so we can actually predict them and counter accordingly. Speaking of graves, this level has Twin Sunflower Zombies. You already know the drill by now, and at least we don't have cemetery grave ambushes anymore. But even if there aren't 500 random zombies spawning at once, I'd argue that water ambushes are worse than grave ambushes. In water ambushes, backup dancers can spawn directly on our cob cannons and instantly kill them. There's not even a single
Oh,
frame
no.
where we can use the Doomshroom or Ice Shroom. So yeah, even if you have fast hands, water ambushes are unstoppable. Just look at what happens here.
Boosh! Oh no! Oh god! Bro! Ain't your machine going to break when you spawn from the water? What the hell? What the heck is this stupid logic?
At least with grave ambushes, we could use an Ice Shroom. In this world, however, it just instantly kills whatever you have in the water. It's nearly impossible to keep anything in the water alive, and the 2 fewer cop cannons are detrimental enough to cause us to crash. But the pools of water enable something even worse. Any zombie moving in or out of water temporarily ignores plants, making fast zombies like Jack-in-the-Box zombies phase through multiple plants before they can even be stopped. We previously countered Jack-in-the-Box zombies by just planting a chump blocker, but that doesn't work anymore. Like,
Oh
how are
god!
you even supposed to react fast enough with cop cannons here before they explode? And since it works for when they leave
They're
the
running
water
in the
too,
water.
planting a sunflower to block the way at the end of the pool is also completely useless. Even better is how catapult zombies from water ambushes are basically impossible to deal with because even cop cannon is too slow. And of course, it doesn't even matter because the game crashed the end. But since this is the water lane, we now have Tango Cup to counter Jack-in-the-Box zombies. It's actually really good since we can pre-plant them, and they even counter water ambushes by instantly killing anything that spawns. And thanks to Tango Kelp, we kept all our cop cannons alive, which is an insane difference from our last run. But still, even this wasn't fast enough against the Twin Sunflower zombies.
Oh no.
Now only one way to kill them faster, which
Who's the guy that created this mod? Why is this guy trying to beat it? I don't know. I don't know who created this mod, but this guy trying to beat the mod is RCCH.
is just planting more cop cannons. This time, we managed to get far enough where Gargantuars started spawning, but I can't explain to you why I didn't just use my cop shots to kill the Gargantuars. Instead, I just let them throw a million imps and kill our cop cannons before I realized. Yeah, I think the word throwing is right to describe what I was doing.
Have fun
And I
swimming!
forgot to plant a Tango Cup, so we even lost our last cop cannons to a Jack-in-the-Box. But actually, this is enough to beat the level anyways, since we still had several lawnmowers and pool cleaners that we could sacrifice as our last resort defense. Thankfully, not too many Twin Sunflower zombies spawn on these last few waves here, so I got away with all those mistakes I made. The final wave might seem impossible to defend because of how many zombies there are, but just these few cop cannons are good enough to beat all of this, since nothing is going to kill our cop cannons at this point, so we just need to wait for them to reload, and there it is. We beat this level. And that was a
Nice.
pretty tough introductory level, but level 10-2 is already bringing in the big guns. It's another Sunflower Zombie level. I suppose you've seen enough of these that I don't have to explain what I'm doing here. We're forced to use cop cannons again, but as we know, they can't deal with enraged ladders, meaning we have to spend conventional explosives to kill them. But then, there are also football zombies in this level, and we also need to spend additional explosives to kill them. Very quickly, we don't have enough instant kills against everything the level throws at us. Water ambushes make this even worse because we also need instant kills to deal with them, and half the time, it doesn't even matter since our cop cannons just die instantly anyway. It's not even been a minute after the first flag and our entire defense is already decimated.
Oh.
Now, I had the idea of using cattail so we don't need to spend additional instant kills on football zombies, but good luck protecting these since all-stars now charge past
Cattail.
place on the front thanks
Oh,
to
no.
water mechanics. And of course, since cattails must be placed in the water, a cannibal zombie can just spawn on top of it at any moment and kill it too. To make matters worse, there are newspaper zombies. I mean, breaking their newspapers so that they can destroy our cop kittens is certainly a strategy. I did try. Okay, but why not just use doom shrooms to nuke all 5 lanes at once? Pretty effective against ladder zombies, right? Yes, it's better than cattails and cherry bombs, but it isn't good enough since we don't kill the zombies
Boosh.
quickly enough before the game
Oh, it
crashes.
lags.
So instead,
Oh my
I
god.
tried countering
Bad
footballs
trip.
using Mana, but even this isn't reliable, since ladder zombies are faster than all-stars, so Mana Shrooms prioritize ladders instead. And also, yes, all-stars phase through plants in the water fast enough to go directly to the 4th column, fair and balanced, as all things should be. Even without ladder zombies distracting, Mana Shroom is still not good enough since we still need to spend cop cannon shots to take out the football zombies after we remove their helmet. Is there a plant that is going to be efficient enough, where we can just instantly remove the football zombies off the playing field so we don't have to waste cop shots on it? Well, some of you may think it's Hypno Shroom, but we actually now have Tangle Kelp, which counters football zombies as long as they spawn in the
Boosh.
water. And it has a fast cooldown, so it actually just counters anything that goes into the water really. But since they only counter football zombies in the water, we still end up having the same problem if they just spawn on the ground lanes. And we won't have enough instant kills fast enough once again to take them out before they kill us. And even when we are lucky to still have a defense by the 2nd flag, Tangle Cup just doesn't help kill the zombies any faster for us to actually beat the level sufficiently fast before it crashes.
Oh,
I
no.
tried my best to beat this level without cheating, for over 4 hours. I spent countless attempts on this level just because I played it so many times over and over. And I mean, there are so many runs I can only show you the scale
Oh
of
my gosh.
absurdity that is this level. And you know the thing that makes me the most upset is that we actually almost beat the level by getting all the way to the final wave. I left only 2 sunflower zombies alive on the top lane, and literally, that was enough to crash the game. I mean, just come on, man. But unfortunately,
It keeps
I never
on
managed to
crashing,
get to the
bro.
final wave again. So after 5 hours of attempts, I folded and instead used the extreme save scum to beat this level. The solution is as simple as just lane manipulating football zombies to go into the water lane by reloading the wave
Oh,
over
God.
and over again, so you can save as
Nice.
many cop shots as possible. If that sounds dumb, that's because it is. Literally just a game of luck to get the football zombies to spawn on the water lanes so that you don't have to spend extra cop shots. And that allows us to kill the sunflower zombies just that little bit quicker. And I mean, that's about as stupid as the level goes, where the only actual solution is to force a type of zombie to only spawn in 2 lanes most of the time. And yes, that's about as fair as total definition goes. If you don't cheat by using lane manipulation, the levels are just impossible to complete for a human being. And mind you, this isn't going to be the last time we're going to see
Nice.
the sunflower zombies. Moving on to level 10-3, this is my favorite level in World 10, and you'll find out why soon. But since there aren't sunflower zombies, we can rock with good old reliable gloom shrooms. Don't get me wrong, gloom shrooms are great against regular zombies, but I forgot to bring a counter to water ambushes, so our
Oh,
defense
God.
died in about 3
Are
seconds.
you kidding me? Not with the sieger again, bro. The shaking screen. Are you kidding me? What the fuck? Whoever made this mod doesn't know how to make it like not crash.
To cannibal
Exactly.
zombies. Well, it was fun while it lasted. But even after I brought in Doomshroom to kill water ambushes, I still kept losing with any Gloomshroom strategy, so I ditched Gloomshrooms in favor of something, let's say, more fun and effective. Finally, Garlic is useful because it forces football zombies into the water lane so we can kill them using Tangle Kelp, which is reliable because it has a 3-second cooldown and only costs us 100 sun. Let's say that's pretty cheap if we have 12,000 sun in our pockets. As for the other zombies, we just let Doomshroom kill them. Now, one problem this strategy has is that we don't always have blowover when the next wave comes, so our garlics can get completely wrecked by the balloon zombies, but it's not that big of a deal since garlic has a relatively short cooldown, so we'll still be able to deal with the football zombies in most scenarios. Even if your garlics die, you still pretty much have time to defend off everything with only Doomshroom because it's just that busted. But the real threat is actually the combo of newspaper zombies and balloon zombies. Since 2 blowovers is all it takes for a newspaper to break,
come on, not with the
really
seizure
easy for
again,
us
bro.
to accidentally kill ourselves by angering several newspaper zombies when we don't have an instant kill to stop them. And unexpectedly, this was a much bigger problem
To be honest, he is the only one who played this game without any cheats.
than I had anticipated.
Right,
I
exactly.
thought just bringing in a wall plant would be good enough because we could just stall them out. But Giant Walnut recharges so slowly that it's completely impractical as a counter against newspaper zombies. Not just because we can't use it very often, but there are also usually multiple newspaper zombies in the same wave. And even with multiple Giant Walnuts, they don't block off Ghost Bucketheads, which is a massive problem since we cannot kill them if we don't have Doomshroom. I mean, it's already next to the house, so the rest is history. I then tried using Squash, since that counters both Ghost Bucketheads and newspapers. But it might be a bit generous to say Squash counters
most players who plays this mod have crazy molded plans and cheats.
Just newspaper zombies because, well, let's just let the clip speak for itself.
Bruh. What the hell?
As if this mod couldn't be more unfair than it already is, the Squash ain't even squashing zombies properly now because of its dumb AI. Like, catch me a break, man. I even tried mass stocking Squashes in the back for extra reliability, but something peculiar happens when you do this. The game crashed? What the heck? Nah, bro, you got too many Squashes on the screen and we're gonna crash. I mean, total definition has finally peaked. Only in total definition does placing Squash crash the game. And the game would somehow crash so consistently, for the lack of a better way to put it, just no reason at all. But I eventually figured out that the game crashes whenever a catapult zombie spawns from a water ambush in the same lane as a Squash. Don't ask me how it's supposed to work, but all I know is that the game doesn't crash if we don't plant Squash in the water lanes. Yeah, you have got to be kidding me. This doesn't seem like a big deal, but it means that our newspaper zombie counter cannot be pre-placed in the water lanes. So when Squash is on cooldown after you use it, we won't have anything that we can use reactively for the next 30 seconds. And yup, of course, we lose again. It happened again in the next run against another newspaper zombie, but it also happened again with a giant football zombie, which is also part of the problem sometimes. And it just seems completely hopeless at this point, and the level appears to be impossible. But after more than 20 attempts on this level, I finally thought of a way to beat the level in a pretty clever way. We just need Doomshrooms in the very back, and well, let's bring back the in-game sounds for this part. When we use a blowover, just listen for the newspaper breaking sound effect. And that's our cue to use the Doomshroom in the back immediately. It's much simpler than using Squash since there's no precise timing required, and this counters newspaper zombies in any lane. At any rate, we struggled against newspaper zombies over several hours, and turns out the solution was just use even more Doomshrooms. I mean, that speaks volumes to just how overpowered Doomshroom is, since it counters every zombie the game can ever throw at you. It's just too fair and balanced. Well, it was certainly a pretty neat level to bring back the dumb strategy on since we haven't been able to use it for several worlds now, which is always welcome by me indeed. Upcoming is the toughest non-crash level in this world, level 10-4. It doesn't seem that bad at first glance, and since Garlics worked so well last level, I decided to run it back. Garlic is also decent here since it clumps everything together so that one cop shot can kill the whole wave at once. But there are more threats to our Garlics this time, including enraged balloon zombies that squish our Garlics if we have a slow reaction speed. The most notable one being the dancing zombies. For some reason, when they
Fun fact, this guy, he's better than you, also more determined.
enter the puddle in the water lanes, they turn backwards and walk off screen rather than continue until the first plant in their way, and then start spawning backup dancers in the very back instead. And of course, these backup dancers will then walk forward and trample over our Garlics. But that's nothing compared to Gatling P zombies. Since they do so much damage, it only takes 5 seconds for our Garlic to be killed. You know it's bad when you can't even plant a Doomshroom without it dying to Zombotany Ps. Plus, zombies are now spawning Bucketheads all over the lawn because we can't take them out. It's the snowball that
Oh,
never
no.
stops rolling until
Oh, no.
everything collapses on its own.
Ah,
It
shit,
may seem
boom.
intuitive to just then go for conventional explosive spam against Gatling P zombies. However, it's not a matter of whether we have enough instant kills or
Boom.
not, but rather whether they survive against the Zombotany Ps. And it's extremely difficult to utilize Doomshroom when there's not a single safe tile to place it in.
Oh,
now,
no.
yes, Jalapeno can protect our Doomshroom by deleting
Boosh.
all the zombies in the middle lane. But obviously, this only makes it safe half the time because
Boosh.
Jalapeno has a slow recharge. So it's not a real way to protect our Doomshrooms. If you think you're smart using Blower to block off Zombotany Ps, then the joke is on you because that angers all the newspaper zombies and you lose the game. So I learned my lesson next run and went with Chompers to protect our middle lane, which I mean, it does kill zombies, but it just doesn't make enough of a difference to be worth using, since the zombies still do damage to our Garlics way too quickly. Just look at how many Zombotany Ps there are, we didn't even stand a chance. Chompers sucked, but Gloomshroom sure is way better since they killed the dancing zombies before they could ever spawn anything. But I assumed that we could just kill the water ambushes with Gloomshrooms. It may be enough against most of the zombies that spawn, but in the particular case of sunflower zombies from water ambushes,
Oh, no.
this happens. Very well then. So instead of Magnashroom, I used Tango Kelp in my next run to counter water ambushes. But the way we solved the problem only caused a new one. We actually needed Magnashroom
Digger.
to counter Digger zombies, so now we get Buckethead spawning in the back column and nothing I could do to stop them. Don't even get me started on how easy it is for enraged balloon zombies to destroy our Gloomshrooms in the front. Yeah, this isn't going to work either. Yeah, all that effort trying to make garlic work and we just end up using pumpkins instead. The pumpkins in the back will protect us from Digger zombies and those in the front will protect us from Gatling P zombies, while
Wait, chat, pull up. Jesus Christ, bro.
Giant walnuts will serve as meat shields in the ground lanes. But you actually can't even use pumpkin here. Since pumpkins transform into squash upon death in Total Death Edition, when a catapult zombie spawns from a wonder ambush, oh, you have got to be joking right now. And now pumpkin is out of the picture, we can't defend Digger zombies since Buckethead zombies just spawn on top of our Gloomshrooms. Well, what a nice waste of time trying out strategies that don't work. So after all that, we ended up just using Cop Cannons again. But even Cop Cannon isn't good enough here, since our walnuts are getting destroyed faster than we can replace them. Which means that even with triple stun producers, the chances of us beating the level are absolutely zero since we can't replace our lost Cop Cannons fast enough to keep up with the zombies. We can't even just include extra instant kills like Squash in our loadout and expect them to do something, since most instant kills can't do anything if there is no board space to place them. This is just a sad way to go out against the Ghost Buckethead. I spent a ridiculous 3 hours trying to beat this level, and there is just no way to beat the Horde. Honestly, I don't have anything to say other than to put it very simply that Gatling P zombies are simply unstoppable and wreck our whole defense every single time, and I can't find a way to deal with them efficiently enough. And I sound like a broken record by saying this again, but yes, I had to make use of extreme safe scum to beat this level too. But just to clarify, this level has been beaten legitimately before, and I've also tried the strategy for myself. But I find that without imitated Cop Cannons, you lose against Digger zombies no matter what if they just spawn too far apart. I will link the legitimate solution in the description below if you're interested, but I couldn't be bothered to sit here for 5 hours, so Save Scum is what I did, and for everyone's sake, I will not show any more levels that require us to save Scum in World 10. Level 10-5 is Big Trouble Little Zombie, but on the Great Wall instead of the pool, and we get some different plants this time around, but that won't be relevant, because if you remember the glitch we used at the end of World 9, where we clocked the conveyor belt with trash to get new plants infinitely fast, then it should be pretty obvious how you can beat this level too, because, well, it's a conveyor belt level. So we just have to do the same thing I did previously. Fill up the conveyor belt and then spam the new plants we get from it. This time, we have cherry bombs, so with infinite cherry bombs at the ready, I think you can see our path to victory here. It's not a problem we don't get any lily pads when we have an infinite stream of cherry bombs from the conveyor belt. There are also just no sunflower zombies here, so there's no risk of actually losing by the game crashing. So yeah, it's just cherry bombs fiesta until everyone is dead, and this level is pretty damn easy.
Hey, let's go!
That level was probably the easiest so far in the TD mod, but level 10-6? Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Now, here's a fun fact about the choose your seed screen in Plants vs Zombies. The number of each zombie here actually tells you how often that zombie will spawn during the level. There are literally more sunflower zombies than Kona zombies in this level.
Oh
Not
no!
like this even matters though, because I'm just more annoyed with playing another sunflower zombie level, and it's just the same strategy with cop cannons again. And you know what? It's not even worth playing because you just crash anyway. And since I already know I won't be able to beat this without RNG manipulation, I'm not making you watch me do the same save scum strategy again, so I'm skipping this level altogether. Thankfully, level 10-7 isn't another sunflower zombie level, but I chose cop cannons again. This level is awfully similar to level 10-4 because we're practically using the same strategy again. Walnuts against pea shooter zombies, cherry bomb as an additional supporting explosive plant. Last but not least, I'm using squash because I couldn't think of anything better to use. And yeah, there are zombie bobsled teams, but they're not a big deal if you just use cob cannons and they won't do much. But of course, the biggest threats are jack-in-the-box zombies, which I was really lucky here and got away without having to spend anything extra to defend. But of course, we can't always be lucky, so we inevitably lost half our cob cannons to a jack-in-the-box zombie, and it's all downhill from here because I just didn't have—
That's so dumb! Now you're jumping in the water? You've got to be kidding me, bro. That's so
any
dumb.
way to kill off the pogo zombies, which, mind you, ignore lawnmowers, so we absolutely cannot afford to lose our cob cannons
Oh,
this
no.
level. That's easy said done. On top of levels that requires the save scum, we have to play around the weird glitches and interactions this mod has. First of which, I have no clue how the Tangle Kelp here didn't kill the Zamboni, so yep, goodbye Cop Cannon, I guess? Yeah, even more annoying is a glitch with Pogo Zombies.
What do the sunflower zombie do? They actually do nothing. It's just that they are just really strong to defeat. That's all there is to it.
Which somehow, this cherry bomb didn't even manage to kill. And by the way, you should rewatch what happened.
Only to where Skuski said they spawn like 5 graves. But other than that, they're actually kinda harmless if you think about it. But they're just really strong to defeat.
In slow motion here. How the hell did the Pogo Zombie only kill the Walnut and Sunflower in lanes 2 and 3? And then somehow the Cop Cannon just magically got trampled by nothing. And then the Cop Cannons on the top magically died afterwards as well. When we're not dealing with the game crashing, we're dealing with glitches that we don't know what's going on. Yeah, well, I already didn't trust Squash after 10-4, but after that Pogo Zombie fiasco, I definitely don't now, so I'm only using Doomshroom from now on. If you just want to see how glitchy Pogo Zombies are, here's a literal bomb detonated next to 2 Pogo Zombies and then not killing them. Yep, so Doomshroom is our only solution. But not even Doomshroom is reliable, which makes this the more annoying to deal with. Like, that Doomshroom didn't kill the Pogo.
They have zero harm, they just crash the game by the insane amount of gravestones stuck together.
Zombie? Yeah. Oh, and I can't even kill it anymore because the Pogo Zombie killed the last 2 Cop Cannons we had. And obviously, we don't even have any more Doomshrooms left to defend ourselves.
Oh no,
I mean, this game is just perfectly balanced with no glitches. But this level isn't even that hard in the first place, since just normal Cop Cannon usage kills everything that the game throws at us, and there's nothing special we have to do other than plant Tangle Kelps reactively against Jack-in-the-Box zombies. We wouldn't still be here if it weren't for this Jack-in-the-Box that blew up our Doomshroom on the final wave. But we haven't lost just yet because we still have all our lawnmowers, so this should be a win, right? Well, there is only one zombie that doesn't die to a lawnmower, and guess what happens? That is about as heartbreaking as it gets in Total Death Edition, and we were only 75 suns short of a coffee bean.
Hurry! Oh no!
Kidding me, man. That was exactly how close we were to beating the level on our next run too. And guess why our Cop Cannons died? Yeah, of course it was the glitchy Pogo Zombies that did that. So I put all my focus into playing this level, to not screw up a single time against Pogo Zombies. I was silent for like 90% of the run, trying as hard as I could to ensure there were no Pogo Zombie shenanigans that could kill us. And yeah, thankfully I didn't choke on the final wave again this time, since I still had my Cop Cannon, so we finally beat this level at last.
Nice!
Next is level 10-8. And yeah, this level has Sunflower Zombies again, so I'm just going to skip it for the sake of you guys. And finally, it wouldn't be Total Death Edition if we didn't have Giga Gargantuars on the penultimate level. Last time we saw Giga Gargantuars, we used the Kernel Pole and Gloomshroom strategy, but this time there are Zamboni, so Gloomshrooms are out of the equation. So one of the things I tried was just using Kernel Pole as a staller and then using explosives to kill everything. What I hoped would happen was Kernel Poles would hold Giga Gargantuars in place long enough for our explosives plans like Doomshroom to get enough value and kill them eventually. But of course, this doesn't work because I didn't account for the imps that get thrown to the back, which kill all our Kernel Bolts. And even
we're almost done, chat. We're finally almost done.
though most of our Kernel Bolts died by the final wave, at least we made it
5 more minutes.
This isn't a good strategy for us to beat the level since we don't do enough damage. Another strategy I tried
If 6,000 zombies spawns in your garden, keep calm and call the police. Or plants. Or place plants, I guess.
Was with gold magnet instead of
Plants.
kernel stalling, which may seem unorthodox because you may think of the hypnotized zombie as something you use to stall with, but it actually does a lot of damage, which is exactly what we need for Giga Gargantuars. However, this strategy is flawed since there's no counter against ghost bucketheads. The hypnotized zombie doesn't do damage fast enough, and that leaves us with the only one way we can kill them, which is by spending one of the large explosives. First of which, that's just inefficient, but that's besides the point here because Doomshroom whiffed anyways.
Oh no!
Yay me. So obviously, we need Cop Cannon again. Well, yeah, isn't World 10 nice? Every single level is just instant kill spam and nothing else. This strategy was supposed to be pretty simple, but I threw this run away by accidentally planting a coffee bean on a sunflower instead of a Doomshroom.
Oh god!
After for almost all our Cop Cannons to die. Despite this, we didn't lose immediately, but Giga Gargantuars are surely the death of us here.
Boosh!
No Giga Gargantuars in the water died to a single Tangle Kelp. Without enough Cop Cannons, we cannot kill the Giga Gargantuars on the ground. We're still at the wrath of RNGesus once again as usual, even at the penultimate level of the TD mod. I also tried imitating Ice Shroom instead of Doomshroom, which would have allowed us to get more cop shots per wave. But just having an extra Doomshroom to deal with water ambushes is more efficient than spending our cop shots, so that basically made Imitator Ice Shroom pointless.
You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me.
Ambushes is more efficient than spending
Now Michael Jackson zombie is swimming in the water like dancing. What the
our
fuck?
cop
Are you
shots,
kidding me?
so that basically made Imitator Ice Shroom pointless. Yes, you could counter water ambushes without cop shots if we had spammed the water with Tangle Kelps, but we don't have enough sun to afford that. And that is when I realized why Twin Sunflower is better than any conventional explosive. Simply having more Tangle Kelps just means we don't have to spend any cop shards or Doomshrooms on water ambushes. We can even further exploit Tangle Kelps by selectively sacrificing specific lanes. By hitting the Giga Gargantuars on the bottom 3 lanes, we make them throw imps into the back of our defense, which may seem bad at first. But remember that new zombies cannot spawn in lanes where lawnmowers were just used. So by simply sacrificing our lawnmowers in the bottom 3 lanes right before the second flag, we can manipulate the zombies to now only spawn in the top 2 lanes for the next 3 waves. And now as the second flag comes, since Gargantuars can't spawn on the bottom 3 lanes and also not the top lane, they all spawn on the second lane, which is a water lane. I think you can see where I'm going with this. What an incredible way to beat Giga Gargantuars without having to save scum. So, ha! In your face, RNGesus. I've outsmarted you, and thank you Tangle Kelp for your service. And since we didn't have to spend our Doomshrooms killing Giga Gargantuars on those waves, now we can spend them on—
Oh! Wait! Chat, did you see that? His rubber ducky, the fucking salvavida just moved.
Since we didn't have to spend our Doomshrooms killing Giga Gargantuars—
Look at that! Look at that! Are you kidding me, chat? Look at this. Look at this, chat. His freaking salvavida just, what? Oh god, what even? I don't even know this stupid logic anymore, bro.
Gargantuars on those waves, now we can spend them on the final wave instead, which is how we get the damage we were previously missing.
The fuck is that? I'll tell you what the fuck is that. It's his salvavida, bro.
Now we can spend them on the final wave instead, which is how we get the damage we were previously missing to beat the zombies. Just spend a couple more Doomshrooms afterwards, and that is how we finish off the final Choose Your Seeds level in Total Death Edition. Everything we've done thus far has finally led us to this point once—
Look at this, look at this.
to beat service. In your face, what an incredible way to beat, which is Gargantuars can't spawn on the bottom lanes for the next 3 waves. And now as the second flag comes, since Gargantuars can't spawn on the bottom 3 lanes and also not the top lane, they all spawn on the second lane, which is a water lane. I think you can see where I'm going with this. What an incredible way to beat Giga Gargantuars without having to save scum. So, ha! In your face, RNGesus. I've outsmarted you this time, and thank you Tangle Kelp for your service. And since we didn't have to spend our Doomshrooms killing Giga Gargantuars—
Look at this! This one, bro, it's his fucking salvavida, the one he wears the rubber ducky on his waist. What the fuck? His fucking salvavida is just like floating on the fucking air, bro.
On those waves, now we can spend them on the final wave instead, which is how we get the damage we were previously missing to beat the zombies. Just spend a couple more Doomshrooms afterwards, and that is how we finish off the final Choose Your Seeds level in Total Death Edition.
Phantom Zombie indeed.
Everything we've done thus far has finally led us to this point once and for all. The final level of Total Death Edition. And for this one, I'll let Live RCCH take over. The hardest level in Plants vs. Zombies history. You guys, level 10-10. Let it rip.
Let it rip!
Oh, 4 cherry bombs. Oh, that's really lucky. Oh, that's really lucky.
Hi, bestie. Welcome to the stream.
Man. Oh, 5 cherry bombs. That's really
I
lucky.
I already gave you the shout out a while ago. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for lurking. Thanks for silently lurking a while ago.
That's really, that's extreme. 6 cherry bombs? Oh my
Ayo!
god, guys, it's so lucky.
7!
7, guys. 8.
8!
Yo, guys, this level, hardest level in the history of
9!
Plants vs Zombies right here. 9. Oh, here we go. Oh, 10 cherry
10!
bombs. Oh, yep. Oh, what is this? Oh, cherry bomb. Oh, yep. Infinite luck right here.
Hey!
Ah.
Let
Guys,
it
this is the hardest level in the entire TD mod right here. Yep, this is the hardest level. It's the last level adventure mode. You know,
rip! Nice! Let it rip!
you know, it's just it's that difficult.
Nice!
Yep. All right.
Nice! Infinite cherry bombs, let's go! Let's fucking go!
Oh wow! Oh wow! Where are all the zombies gone? Some people say the modder decided that we've suffered enough to finally deserve a fireworks show at the end of adventure mode. But my theory is that he didn't expect anyone to ever get to this point legitimately, so he just put a troll level at the end to tease us for getting here illegally. But yeah, that concludes
Exactly.
adventure mode of Total
Greatest
Definition
plot twist
after
in cinematic
over
history.
120
Exactly.
hours of gameplay.
Oh,
Adventure mode
huh?
of Total Definition after
Excuse
over
me?
120
Oh,
hours
boo.
of gameplay.
Whoa!
Don't fret though, there will be more to come. We still have the mini games, puzzles, survivals,
Uh-oh.
limbo page levels, and
Uh-oh.
even secret page levels. left to
Uh-oh.
beat. Click on the video card on the screen right now to start watching the mini games in Total Definition straight away if I've started playing them. And a final thank you to all the channel members for your continued support
finally.
after a year of Total Def madness.
Oh, finally, we finished it, chat. We finally finished it. We are not. We're not gonna watch the mini games, are we? are are we still going to watch the mini game like in the next watch party? That was so crazy, chat. That's so hecking crazy. Are you gonna do it like next watch play? The game is like I don't wanna go through this crazy watch party of the PVZ modded. That's so crazy. Let's go raid. Let's go raid. Go raid. I know who we can raid because he just went live like a while ago. We're gonna raid my boyfriend. Ours. Yeah. For those who are not subscribed to me, here's a raid message. And then for those who are not sub to me, here's the sub raid. And then just because I love the cuteness of this raid message, let's do this. I said, let's do this as well. So we are raiding ours. He's a plague doctor VTuber, and he plays more of a retro games. So let me see. Let's see. We raiding ours. My boyfriend. Let's raid him. So yeah. Thank you so much for coming to my stream. Tomorrow, um, what time is what time should I go playing Valo? Where's my schedule at? Okay, 9 p.m. GMT +8. I'll be playing Valorant. Because surprise, surprise, the entire week I'll be playing Valorant. Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m. Valorant, and Wednesday and Friday, it's 10 p.m. All in Philippine time, GMT +8. So yeah, thank you for coming, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Otsu, otsu, otsu. Bye bye.